through the fog, playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight. No one else can beat them. Come on out and see them. Chatham Ace Baseball, summertime on Cape Cod.
Harwich hunts for a playoff spot while Chatham searches for win number 20 in 2024. It's the penultimate game of the regular season and the home finale of the regular season at Veterans Field. We welcome you to the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith. Jack, plenty at stake for the Mariners tonight. As we come on the air, Brewster leads YD 11-5 in the bottom of the 8th, which means that a Harwich playoff spot is still not locked in, but the Mariners, with a win tonight, can confirm their spot in the playoffs.
And they're trying to keep pace as the 3 seed right now to avoid going and playing YD and instead coming here to Veterans Field to play Chatham on Tuesday in the first round. Who would have thought when Harwich was in a streak of losing 16 of 17 that the Mariners would somehow not only have a chance for the playoffs but have a chance to be the 3 seed in the East Division?
Just like the last couple of the days, not a ton at stake for Chatham, the 2 seed in the East already locked in. A possible first-round playoff hint here tonight as Chatham hosts Harwich, and there is a chance that this is the matchup on Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the first round of the East Division playoffs. We'll see how it plays out over the next couple of days. Exciting to get one in tonight at 7 o'clock, and it is also Email Frenzy Night here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We've already got a couple emails coming in. You can email us all night long. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. That's the destination. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. We hope you write to us tonight. Tell us who you are, where you're listening from, who you might be listening for. If you've got questions for Jack and me, well, you can hit us up on the email, ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. We'll talk about those emails, give you shout-outs all night long here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. So we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll start talking about those emails when we get started at 7 o'clock. But first, it's the Anglers Extra Pregame Show here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We've got the Manager's Show, and we've also got Catch of the Day. Our fantastic public address announcer, Peter Burns, joins us a little later on for Catch of the Day. But first, it's interim manager Eric Batty on the Manager's Show with Jack Smith. That's coming up next. Again, first pitch at 7 o'clock, Chatham and Harwich on Email Frenzy Night. Manager's Show is next, here from a beautiful night at Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Hello and welcome back to the Anglers Extra Pregame Show. I'm Jack Smith, joined by Eric Batty for the Manager Show. Coach, it's your final regular season game here at Veterans Field, and I'm curious, what's your routine like before a home game here?
Well, I get to the field, hang out with the guys a little bit, do our BP, hit some fungos, and then usually during the opposing team's BP, I'll write the lineup of the opposing team and get my little pitch and pocket chart ready. And then I'll go over to the Cumby and grab some coffee and grab a little protein shake if I need it, and then come back here and get ready for the game.
When you're writing a lineup 1 through 9, what are some of the things you look for when deciding where to put someone?
Well, we typically do that earlier in the day, but there's a ton of things we take into consideration. We take into consideration the opposing team pitcher, who's hot, who's not, righty, lefty, and then sometimes you just mix things up, as you've been seeing recently.
What made Campbell Smithwick yesterday a candidate to be in the leadoff spot?
Campbell has good at bats. Yesterday, he faced a tough lefty there at the beginning of the game that got to him a little bit. But Yeah, we're just switching it up, giving him an opportunity. Once Will Bermudez gets back, he'll probably step into that spot again. But we've been passing around a little bit.
Ashton Larson's on a 6-game hit streak, and it feels like some of the stuff that he does doesn't get talked about all that often just because you expect it from him on a day-in and day-out basis. What has he shown you this summer? Yeah,
Ashton's a smart kid. He never gets down too low. When he gets out, he wants to know why. He asks good questions. He likes to talk about hitting. He makes good adjustments. He makes adjustments in at bat from pitch to pitch. His swing is very smooth and short and compact, so he's not afraid to see the ball a really long time. So a lot of good that he does that leaks into his play positively.
Does he remind you of anyone else that you've seen or coached before?
A little bit of Mitch Jebb from 2 years ago, a little bit in terms of how much he thinks about his at-bats. Tools-wise, they have a little bit different set of tools, but how cognitive of players that they are and how much thought they put into at-bats. I would say Mitch Jebb, he reminds me of Mitch some.
Augie Mojica takes the ball for you today. What made you decide to give him his first start?
Augie's had some really good appearances for us as of late. We can get some length out of him. He's got about 4 pitches he can throw for strikes, and he's got a good sinker. So if the sinker's working today, which it has been working real well for him, he can get quick outs.
He comes from San Jacinto College, which is where you've had a lot of players from, whether they come from there or they've made stops there before. How did that San Jacinto to Chatham pipeline start?
It's just kind of worked out that way. Sometimes things happen organically. I don't know if there's any specific reason on how that happened, but those guys have been good for us.
2 more games left before the postseason. What'll make it a successful next 2 days for you?
Good energy in the dugout. Obviously, we want to win, but we just want to play good baseball and have good energy and make sure we're, again, having a lot of fun from pitch to pitch.
Chatham takes on Harwich in the final game here at Veterans Field in the regular season before a game here on Tuesday for the playoffs. Coach, thanks for the time.
You're welcome.
That'll do it for us here on the Manager's Show. We'll send it back to Andrew Selover as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.
Jack, plenty to break down there from Eric Batty as he talked a little bit about tonight's matchup, but also looking forward. And for the last couple of days, same with tonight, eyes are kind of 50% set on tonight's game, 50% looking forward to Tuesday when Chatham hosts the 2-3 matchup in the first round of the East Division playoffs. That's what's ahead for Chatham. What's on stake tonight is playoff stakes for Harwich as Chatham hosts Harwich for the 5th and final regular season matchup between these two squads. They've split the previous 4, and the Mariners can clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. Ahead of first pitch, Catch of the Day is next, and it's with Peter Burns, our public address announcer. That's on the other side here on the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Andrew Selover for Catch of the Day on the regular season home finale. We have the man of the press box, Peter Burns, Chatham's public address announcer with us. Peter, you started in this job in 2015.
I did.
What keeps you coming back every year to Chatham?
It's a good opportunity to connect with my family. They stay up here, and I have a Chatham Anglers family. Big Ed. And I was thinking about it when I was walking in today. A lot of the people who were here when I started are still here. So it's a family. The Caveys, the Streeters, the Olsons, they still run merch. And the Snack Shack, Big Ed still does. Steve West is still here. Mike Galen is still here. So, you know, this is a family in and of itself. And it gets me away from working all the time. It gives me something to do. I think it's going to lengthen my life because life is about having connections and relationships, and if I were in California, I would be writing and sleeping all day, and this gives me a chance to come out and meet people. That's good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your second appearance on Catch of the Day, right?
Yes. Do you know that this shirt I wore In 2016. This is the same shirt.
Is that right?
It is the same shirt, and I knew it when I was coming in, and I said to myself, I'm still going to wear it. Yes, I can tell you about that game. I looked this up. We played Harwich. We got no hit. We lost 10-0. And there was a skunk on the field during the game.
Oh, how'd they dispose of that?
I think we just sort of waited for the skunk to leave. And before the game, I said to Steve Englert, can I have your scorecard? Because he writes the scorecard with all different nicknames.
Nicknames, yeah.
Yes. And he said yes. And then when I came over to him, it had been a 5-pitcher no-hitter. I said, you don't want to give that to me. He said, I promised it to you. I still have it in my office.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't see another Harwich no-hitter tonight.
Well, after that no-hitter, Chatham played a loaded Harwich team. Loaded. Look at that team in the playoffs and beat them in the first round.
Wow.
Chatham did. 2016. Yeah. Jonathan India, Pavin Smith, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Look at that team. They were loaded.
I know you've talked about, in addition to being a professor, you've also spent time on TV. Where did that style of showmanship come from that you're able to display here at Veterans Field?
My father, I think I had it when I was a kid. You know, I was thinking as I was coming in today, when I played baseball, I would go to baseball games when I was a kid, I was more interested in putting on the show than I was the game. So the Yankees had, like, I'm a Red Sox fan, but we would go to Yankees games because my father's a Yankees fan, and they would be like, you know, out of the, and I would, like, do that on the field because I was, like, interested in that, and I would, like, announce I would announce the names of my teammates. So I was interested in that. There was a daytime TV guy like a Johnny Carson named Mike Douglas, and when I was 5 years old, I said I wanted to be Mike Douglas. So I've always sort of been into, you know, being the class clown, being, you know, performing.
Well, it seems like you found the perfect role in Chatham. What are you most proud of about your time in Chatham?
I believe that I make people happier at the games. It is amazing to me how much people like to have their names said on the PA, from happy birthday to hello to superfan. And you know, yesterday or 2 days ago when we had a game, I said happy birthday. I think the person's name was Michael Stracco, and like half the crowd went nuts. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice, and people enjoy what I do. So I just want to make coming to the game fun for everybody, and I don't want the Harwich or visiting teams to hate me. So I don't say you're Chatham Anglers. I try not to like pump it up. I try to make it enjoyable for everybody, even though I'm clearly for the Anglers. And you know, I was going to say I hope Harwich loses every game, but we're not going to put that out there.
Well, we appreciate you, Peter. This has been great.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, and you know, thank you to all of the broadcasters that I've worked with.
You're too kind, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
We'll send it back to Jack for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show. Sounds good. I'll come back and visit.
All right, sounds good.
Back to Jack.
All right, Andrew, what a special day today. Peter Burns on Catch of the Day, and it's Email Frenzy Night here and the home finale of the regular season for the A's at Veterans Field. If you didn't hear earlier, send us an email tonight, chathamBroadcast@gmail.com. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're listening for potentially, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the email. We will get through as many as we can tonight during all 9 innings of the broadcast. We got to get to first pitch, though, first, and that is coming up next here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. Take one more break, get you the national anthem, as well as the first pitch, the lineups, and the pitching matchup. Stick with us. We're coming back here from Veterans Field next.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The Inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run! A grand slam for Todd Frazier!
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores, and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seeger. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Andrew Selover and Jack Smith.
From Veterans Field, it is Game 39, the regular season home finale for Chatham, and the A's welcome Harwich here to Veterans Field. Harwich is fighting for a playoff spot, and we are just about to get underway, but first we have a very special first pitch, and we're going to pass things over to Peter Burns for this first pitch.
Grenier to throw out tonight's first pitch. Robbie has been a fixture as the Chatham Anglers head groundskeeper at Veterans Field for more than 30 years. We are very grateful for all he has done for our organization, Veterans Field, during his tenure. Robbie has worked with hundreds of players and coaches over the years to groom and pamper Veterans Field to make it the finest baseball field in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Robbie may not be at the field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it's close to that, especially during the summer. Robbie was on site and integrally involved in our 2014 field light replacement project, our 2016 press box scoreboard replacement project, our 2019 bleacher and outfield scoreboard replacement projects, and our 2021 net and pole replacement project. Prior to each season, Robbie coordinates setting up our batting cages, putting up our outfield fence windscreen, and our safety netting behind home plate, and getting our watering system functional. He knows where every sprinkler head is on the field. During the season, Robbie helps out merchandise and snack shack crews, our on-field grounds crew, and is a great resource to solve any field or facility-related issue that comes up. For all his work over these decades, the Cape Cod Baseball League will give Robbie its Lifetime Achievement Award in November at the Hall of Fame, an award Robbie well deserves. It's not every day you see a true Chatham Angler legend. Robbie Grenier is just that. So whenever you're ready, Rob, fire away. It's a perfect strike. Thank you to Robbie, his sister Jeanette, Evan, and Catherine Metropolis, and their family, and all of Robbie's supporters. Robbie is a Chatham and national treasure. We love him. And as Steve West said in the 2017 Angler video, there's one person who's irreplaceable in the Chatham Anglers, and that's Robbie Grenier.
Robbie Grenier with the first pitch, Chatham's groundskeeper, the Ebbett Award Lifetime Achievement winner this year in November at the Cape League Hall of Fame induction. Robbie with the first pitch here at Veterans Field as we get ready for Chatham and Harwich coming up in just a few minutes. We'll have the lineups, the umpires, the pitching matchup, and first pitch coming your way momentarily as Chatham will wear the white pinstripes and they take up the third base line. Harwich is coming out of the first base dugout, and we get ready for the national anthem ahead of first pitch coming up on a beautiful night for baseball. Sun is peeking through the trees. It's been a light blue sky all afternoon long after a morning mist here in Chatham, Massachusetts. And we get ready for first pitch here between Chatham and Harwich. But first, we pass things over to Zac Efron's doppelganger. It's Peter Burns with the national anthem introduction.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Returning to Veterans Field to sing tonight's national anthem is Deb Watson. Deb Watson is a Chatham resident and currently sings with the Chatham Chorale and the Harwich Port Pilgrim Congregational Church. With tonight's national anthem, Deb Watson.
National anthem complete at Veterans Field. We're getting ready for first pitch of Game 39, the penultimate game of the regular season. It's Chatham and Harwich for the 5th time this summer. Let's get you the starting lineups presented by the Chatham Clothing Bar, and we start with the visiting Mariners under Steve Englert. Harwich comes in at 15-23, 1 win away from clinching a postseason berth, and Cam Maldonado, the right fielder out of Northeastern, leads things off today for Harwich. Batting second from Seton Hall, the left fielder Aiden Robbins. In the 3 spot, another Aiden. It's Aiden Hill, a transfer from VCU, headed to Maryland and playing center field. In the cleanup spot from Florida, the second baseman Cade Kurland, an all-star who hit a solo home run the last time these two met. In the 5 spot, Matt Scannell, a Princeton to Wake Forest transfer, plays first base. Batting 6th, the catcher from Oregon State, Wilson Weber. In the 7 hole, another transfer from UNC Greensboro to Miami. Jake Ogden is the 3rd baseman. In the 8th spot, headed from Utah Valley to LSU, it's Danny Dickinson, the designated hitter. And rounding out the starting 9 for the Mariners from Boston College, the shortstop Sam McNulty. Again, Maldonado, Robbins, Hill, Kurland, Scannell, Weber, Ogden, Dickinson, and McNulty for the Mariners.
For the A's, it's Campbell Smithwick who leaves things off, the left-handed hitting catcher from Ole Miss for the 2nd straight night. Chayton Krause, 3rd baseman from DBU, bats 2nd, followed by Ashton Larson, the LSU left-handed hitting right fielder. Middle third of the order is 3 right-handed hitters. Robin Villeneuve, the 1st baseman from Texas Tech, cleans things up. He's followed up by Daniel Jackson, the Georgia DH who homered in his 2nd Chatham game yesterday. Jaden Davis plays 2nd base from Vandy and hit 6th. Then in the bottom third, it's the left-handed hitting center fielder from Baylor, Ty Johnson, switch hitter Jordan Williams, who plays left from Tampa, and Kyle Lodiche, the Georgia Tech shortstop, who bats 9th. Again, it's Smithwick, Krause, Larson, Villeneuve, Jackson Davis, Johnson, Williams, and Lodiche for Eric Beatty.
Jack, the pitching matchup brought to you by the Red Nun Bar and Grill. The starter for Harwich is Andrew Evans, a righty from Kansas State, who makes his 8th appearance and 3rd start with a 6.63 earned run average. We'll tell you more about Evans, the Kansas State product, in the bottom of the 1st. But for Chatham, it's Augie Mojica, a righty sophomore out of San Jacinto, making his 3rd appearance and 1st start for the A's. Last time out, Mojica came out of the bullpen for 3 1/3 of 2-run baseball. Comes in with a 6.75 ERA across his first 4 innings pitched. Chatham will wear the white pinstripe jerseys and pants with the red A on the front and the blue caps. Harwich goes for the blue socks, the gray pants, the blue jerseys, a navy blue with red lettering, and the blue caps. Cam Maldonado strides in from the right side against the righty Mojica. First pitch is on the money. Strike 1, 7:04 and 78 degrees in Chatham, Massachusetts. First pitch time and temperature brought to you by the Chatham Athletic Association. Mojica from the windup, the pitch, low, ball 1. Your umpires tonight brought to you by Chatham Paint and Hardware. Jeff Kinney is behind the plate, Anthony Brunetti is at 3rd, and Jeff Merzel is at 1st. Mojica deals. Slider catches a piece, strike 2. Cam Maldonado out of Northeastern is tied for the Harwich lead in home runs. He's got 5 of them. He awaits the 1-2. Slider way outside. Evens the count. Maldonado hitting at .254. He's played 32 games. Tied for the team lead in that category. The pitch. Slow roller, foul. Bounds over to the 3rd base dugout. Mojica's sitting in the low 90s to start the game with the fastball. Last offering came in at 92 up and in. Augie shakes off the first sign. Now he winds, he deals. Another bouncer foul. Jack, the A's are searching for some distance from Mojica. He just went 1 inning his first time out, but last time, almost a starter role. He came into the 1st inning after Chance Cox couldn't get out of it, and he gave the A's nearly 4 innings of work.
Yeah, he's been great, and you heard from Eric Beatty on the manager show. This is a guy that A's really want to see what they have with him.
2-2. Up and in. Chin Music at 93. Maldonado has worked the count full to start the game.
Not a ton of starter experience, just 3 starts this year at San Jacinto College. But we'll see if Mojica can adapt to the role.
3-2. Strike, 3 looking. Frozen with the breaking ball on a full count. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the first. Brings up Aiden Robbins with nobody on and 1 away. Good reminder that tonight on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, email frenzy night. So email us all night long. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. Another right-on-right matchup, and the first pitch from Mojica. Fastball pounds the zone, strike 1. You can tell us your name, where you're listening from, who you're listening for. Maybe it's a player or somebody a part of these 2 organizations. Any questions are welcome as always. 0-1. Bouncer to the backstop. 0-2. We've already got a couple of emails that we'll get to as the first inning wears on, Jack. Some fans already chiming in. We'll talk about those as the game wears on here at Veterans Field. Just underway, no score, Chatham and Harwich. Nobody on, 1 away in the top of the first, and the 0-2. All the way to the backstop on the fly. Mojica just threw it up above everybody's head. Fastball that came out a little early. How about the 1-2? Crank towards left center field, sends Johnson back to his left, but he's got it on a line for the second down. Rest of the defensive alignment for Chatham brought to you by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Left to right in the outfield, Jordan Williams, Ty Johnson, who just set down Aiden Robbins, and Ashton Larson in right. Chayton Krause is at third, Kyle Lodis at short. Second baseman is Jaden Davis, and Robin Villeneuve holds on at first for Chatham. Campbell Smithwick, the battery mate, goes into the crouch for Augie Mojica, who is 2 up and 2 down. Faces his first lefty. The pitch to Aiden Hill. In tight, ball 1. Hill, one of the latest additions down the home stretch for the Mariners. Comes into tonight's game 7 for 20. The 1-0. Popped up, foul ground, third base side. Krause gives it a look, but he runs out of room. Hill, the sophomore out of Maryland, is headed to the Terrapins after spending his first 2 seasons with VCU. Been a key in helping break the schneid for Harwich the last week. The pitch. Dribbled foul, first base side. It's 1-2. Mariners really hit a low point over the middle course of the season, but the last week Harwich has turned it on, and the Mariners are 1 win away from clinching a postseason berth. The pitch. Outside. Runs the count to 2-2 as Mojica searches for a 1-2-3 first inning of work. Dugout behind him on the 2-2. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 top of the first for Augie Mojica. Strikeout looking from Cam Maldonado. A fly out to center field off the bat of Aiden Robbins. And a strikeout swinging from Aiden Hill. 17 pitches, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on in the top of the first inning. A's are coming to the plate. Campbell Smithwick, Chayton Krause, and Ashton Larson do up against the righty starter from Kansas State, Andrew Evans, when we return. Bottom of the first next, here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Bottom of the first here at Veterans Field. I'm Andrew Selover, back with Jack Smith here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich 0 and Chatham coming to the plate. A brief reminder of the A's starting lineup. It reads Campbell Smithwick, Chayton Krause, and Ashton Larson due up in the bottom of the first inning. Robin Villeneuve, Daniel Jackson, and Jaden Davis middle of the order. And the bottom third is Ty Johnson, Jordan Williams, and Kyle Lodies. The A's facing off against the Mariners for the 5th time this season, and Chatham's trying to strike first in a 0-0 game. Andrew Evans is the righty starter for Harwich. Evans comes into this game with an 0-2 record. 7 appearances. This will be start number 3 for Evans. He's thrown 19 innings, and he has a 6.63 ERA. Evans at 6'5", 240 pounds, sophomore from Kansas. First pitch to the lefty, Smithwick. Miss is outside at 91. It's ball 1. Already a couple emails that we'll get to here on Email Frenzy Night at Veterans Field after the 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside, 2-0. A couple of former Chatham A's broadcasters have chimed in. Max Hers congratulates everybody on a great summer here in Chatham. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Max is working with the Nashville Predators in the NHL. Evans works from the windup. His 2-1. Drilled high in the air and way foul. Smithwick hit that a mile in the air, and it still hasn't landed a good 300 feet to the right of the chuck. That's about as foul as you can hit one. 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Heavy dose of fastballs to start for Evans, and he's trying to hunt that outside corner against the lefty Smithwick. Payoff pitch. Popped up shallow left center field. Hill over from center. He gives way to Robbins, who makes the grab waist high in left center for the first out. Defensive alignment the rest of the way for the Mariners. Brought to you by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Aiden Robbins in left, Aiden Hill in center, and Cam Maldonado in right. Jake Ogden is at third base, Sam McNulty at short, Cade Kurland at second, and Matt Scannell at first. The catcher Wilson Weber, the battery mate for the starter Evans. First pitch to Chayton Krause. Inside, ball 1. Another Chatham broadcast alum, Ian Unsworth from 2022 here in Chatham, has emailed us. 1-0. Up tight. 2 balls, no strikes. Ian said he's checking in. Hope everyone is pumped for the playoffs, and he's enjoyed listening all summer. 2-0 pitch. Hit high in the air, right center field. That sends Maldonado back. He's at the track. He looks up. Chayton Krause, you've done it again. A's strike first. Opposite field blast from Krause to give the Anglers a 1-0 lead. Krause gives some energy to the third base dugout that already needed no help with that. Brings up Ashton Larson in the pitch. Slap down the left field line, a fair ball. Larson will turn the wheels on around first base. He's headed for second. He has no problem getting in. A stand-up double and a 7-game hit streak for Ashton Larson. First, it's Krause with the solo home run. Now it's Larson with the stand-up double the other way.
All he does is hit every single game, back to back to back.
Brings up Robin Villeneuve. Righty out of Tennessee, headed to Texas Tech in the pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. Last time here at Veterans Field, it was Villeneuve with the solo shot in the bottom of the first to start the scoring. 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Chatham 1, Harwich 0. Runner at second and 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Evans from the stretch, the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Runs the count to 2-1. For Chayton Krause, it's home run number 4 on the summer. And we've got a shout out for Chayton on Email Frenzy Night, the 2-1. Foul back, 2-2. So Bronwyn Wassell has chimed in from New Zealand. That's Chayton's aunt. Says there's a bunch of huge fans of the whole Anglers team in New Zealand. The 2-2. Breaking ball lined at first over the head of Scannell, who leaped up but couldn't meet it. Larson gets the stop sign at third base. A's have him at the corners as Villeneuve goes the other way. 3 straight hits from Chatham. To continue with Chayton's aunt from New Zealand, says many family members tuned in from all over New Zealand on a cold Sunday morning in the winter. Thanks everybody for the updates, and they feel like a part of the action. That is awesome. First pitch popped up foul and out of play by Daniel Jackson. If you're just joining us, A's have struck first in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 on the back of a solo shot from Chayton Krause. 0-1. Jackson bounces it up the middle. Will it squeak through? Yes, it does. Off the edge of the glove of the second baseman, Kurland. Villeneuve chugs for third. He slides in safe. Jackson tries for second. He is thrown out. Second out comes at second base, but not before Daniel Jackson drives home Ashton Larson. A's double the lead, 2-0. Jackson snuck it just between the shortstop and second baseman, right over the second base bag. Larson scores, Villeneuve to third, brings up Jaden Davis from the right side. The pitch. Foul back. A's are liking what they're seeing early at the plate. Plenty of early hunting in the at-bats. Right on right, Evans at Davis, and the pitch. Way high. 1-1 strike. Four hits already in the first for Chatham. The pitch. Bouncer to second. It rolls to Kurland. He has it. He throws to first, and he sets down the side. Chatham leaves Villeneuve over at third base, but the Anglers strike for 2 runs. 4 hits from Chatham, including a solo home run from Chayton Krause, his 4th of the summer. No errors in the field. 1 man left on for the Anglers. We're through 1, and it's Chatham 2, Harwich 0. Top of the second next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
What I want.
Hi, this is Campbell Smithwick from Ole Miss. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hotty toddy.
Campbell Smithwick welcomes us back for the top of the second inning, back here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham 2, Harwich 0. 4, 5, and 6 due up in the second inning for the Mariners. Augie Mojica back on the mound. Cade Kurland leads things off for Harwich. Chatham ambushed Andrew Evans in the bottom of the first for 4 hits and 2 runs. We'll see how the M's respond. Kurland, the second baseman out of Florida, strides in from the right side. Mojica deals. Rolled foul up the third base line. Fans have filled in over the course of the first inning here at Veterans Field. Nothing but blue skies above. We're not sure what the forecast fares for us the rest of the week, but great night for baseball here tonight. A little bit humid, high 70s. 0-1. Fisted into shallow left field. Shortstop Lodis goes back. He turns, he makes the grab. Kyle Lodis without number 1 to set down Cade Kurland. Hill out in right and center field is filling up here at Veterans Field. Couple hundred out there and still adding. Ballpark is abuzz with plenty of youngsters running around. Lefty Matt Scannell comes to the plate and the pitch. Missed outside with the fastball. 1-0. The pitch. Slider just didn't move enough. Stays outside to the lefty Scannell. 2 balls, no strikes. Matt Scannell, another guy that's been with this Harwich team through thick and thin. Ups and downs this summer, the pitch. Foul, back to the netting. Scannell has played in 32 games. He's hitting at just .210. Senior from San Antonio, a grad transfer headed from Princeton to Wake Forest. What an up and down summer it's been for Harwich. The pitch. Stays outside, 3-1. Mariners started the summer at 9-6. And then Harwich lost 15 of 16. 3-1. Outside, ball 4. First base runner for the Mariners, a 1-out walk issued by Augie Mojica in the second inning.
The catcher from Oregon State, number 27, Wilson Weber.
Jack Harwich has turned it on over the last week. Gotten himself, as of now, in a playoff spot, but that is not locked up. Although Harwich could confirm their spot in the 2024 playoffs with a win tonight.
Not the same Mariners team that we have seen here at Veterans Field this year.
Wilson Weber to the plate, the pitch. Fastball outside black, strike 1. If Harwich fails to take down Chatham, the Mariners would go to Game 40, a matchup with Brewster tomorrow that would have major implications on the postseason. 0-1. Fisted over the head of Lodis at short into left field. A base hit for Wilson Weber. And the Mariners are in business in the second inning. 1-out walk, then a single. Brings up Jake Ogden.
The third baseman from the University of Miami, number 8, Jake Ogden.
We've already had a couple of results come in over the course of the day today in the Cape League because there were 2 double headers scheduled for makeups. Actually, home and away double headers. So a couple of teams playing at one ballpark this afternoon and then another tonight. That's Orleans and Bourne and Falmouth and Cotuit. Ogden, a righty batter, another transfer. Plenty of them in the lineup for Harwich. Mojica from the stretch, the pitch. Dribbled over to short. Davis over to his left. He has no throw. The Villeneuve from first and Davis from second both converged on the baseball, and so nobody was covering first base. Mojica was late to the bag, and everybody's safe for Harwich. Ruled an infield single for Ogden, and the bases are juiced for the Mariners with 1 out in the second. Earlier today, Bourne beat Orleans and Falmouth took down Catuit. Also already complete, Brewster beat YD. So that keeps the Whitecaps' hopes alive. Moves Brewster up for now into a tie with Orleans on 28 points. The pitch. Slider moves in for strike one to Danny Dickinson. Harwich as of now is 2 points clear of both those teams, but all three still alive for 2 playoff spots in the East as of now. Both Harwich and Orleans could clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. 0-1. Bouncer at the plate. It bounces off the foot of Dickinson. It's 0-2. Brewster has done its part. If Harwich or Orleans loses tonight, then the Whitecaps are alive into tomorrow with still plenty of work to do. Chatham 2, Harwich 0, top of the second inning. Bases loaded and 1 out. The 0-2. Flared, foul, and back out of play. Dickinson headed from Utah Valley to LSU, where he'll be teammates with Chatham's Ashton Larson next season. Hitting at 208 this summer, the pitch. Popped up on the infield, right at first base. Villeneuve retreats toward the outfield grass. He catches it with the infield fly rule in effect, and there's 2 gone. Mojica not out of the woods yet, but half the way there, Jack.
And the good news is he can pitch without the pressure of a playoff seed hanging over him, potentially making the playoffs. With the A's securing both of those things earlier in the week, it allows Mojica to go out there and just throw.
Brings up Sam McNulty, the 9-hole hitter from Boston College for Harwich. Righty batter trying not to squander a prime opportunity for the Mariners here in the top of 2. The pitch. Flared back to the screen. Harwich on a walk and 2 singles loaded the bases with 1 out. Pop up from Dickinson, and now McNulty bats with the infield back, outfield straight away. Wind is whipping from left to right. The pitch. Rise is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. A's got 2 in the bottom of the first, and Harwich is trying to respond. Meanwhile, Mojica for Chatham trying to toss a second 0 up there. Leave him loaded. Augie's from the stretch. He deals. Slider, wave, and a miss. Nasty breaking ball. 1-2. Mojica with the ball in his right hand, the glove in his left. Stares into Smithwick. He looks back to second. The righty lifts. He pitches. Slider low and away. 2-2. Lights are on at Veterans Field. Sky starting to darken as the sun sets down the left field line. Pitch clock under the scoreboard counting down. Mojica with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Take a seat. Mojica leaves him loaded in the top of the second inning, and the Mariners exit empty-handed. 3rd strikeout in 2 innings for Augie Mojica, and it finishes the top of the second inning and preserves Chatham's 2-0 lead. No runs on 2 hits, no errors in the field from the Anglers, and 3 left on for the Mariners. Halfway through 2, 2-0 Chatham at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of the second inning, bottom of the order due up for the Anglers. Johnson, Williams, and Lodis will all come to the plate for the first time tonight. Anglers batting with a 2-0 lead over Harwich. Second inning of work for Andrew Evans. Righty gave up 2 runs on 4 hits in the first. He pitches to Ty Johnson. Foul back to the screen. 0-1. Again, email Frenzy Night here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. That means all night you can email us at chathambroadcast@gmail.com. Pitch. Curveball lands for strike 2. Again, that's chathambroadcast@gmail.com. Tell us who you are, where you're from, any questions, who you're listening from, some shout-outs, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Johnson chases up near his eyes. First strikeout of the game for Evans, and there's one away in the second. Trey from Des Moines has emailed in. Wanted to give out a shout-out to Bryce Roddy. Did an interview the other day talking about Bleeding Angler Blue. Thought he came across as authentic and someone he wants to pull for. So a shout out to Bryce Roddy. First pitch to Williams. He squares. He missed the bunt. Strike 1. Boy, Jack, Jordan Williams, with all his speed, has tried a couple times in his first few games to lay down a bunt. And we haven't seen one put down yet for the switch hitter.
Second he gets one down, he is off racing to first.
The pitch. Popped up. That drifts over the third base dugout. Strike 2.
We want to give a shout out to Trey for being the first one in on Email Frenzy Day.
Yeah, he got in at 2:07 this afternoon. That is early. 0-2. Curveball. Strike 3. Froze him right down the middle. And Williams is down on strikes. Much smoother start to the second inning for Andrew Evans. 2 up, 2 down on a strikeout swinging from Johnson. Strikeout looking for Williams. Brings up Kyle Lodis. Right on right, the pitch. Fastball blistered into left center field. A base hit. Lodis takes a wide turnaround first, but he puts on the stop. 2-out single for the 9-hole hitter out of Augusta, headed to Georgia Tech. Lodis broke out of a mini slump yesterday with a solo home run. Tacks on another base hit to start here tonight. Flip the order for Campbell Smithwick. Lefty batter 0 for 1 tonight. Flied out to left center field. First pitch. Fastball downstairs, ball 1. Campbell's parents, Austin and Jessica, have chimed in from Oxford, Mississippi. Thankful for the broadcast. They've watched and listened to every game this summer and say, go A's. Pick off to first. Lodis dives back and he just got in. Evans almost got Kyle Lodis leaning. Runner at first and 2 away for Smithwick. 1-0 the count. Evans from the stretch, the pitch. Check swing. Stays outside and Smithwick held up. 2 balls, no strikes. Smithwick's got up here to Cape Cod. Got to visit for a week as Campbell has been here all summer. 2-0. Breaking ball lands for strike 1. Andrew Evans has broken out the curveball here in inning number 2, Jack, and he keeps planting it for a strike.
Tough pitch to locate, but when done well, is dominant.
Pick off to first. No tag this time as Lodis dives back safely.
So if Trey Dyson was the first one in with an email, Gina was not far behind. Wanted to let us know that her and Jean, big angler fans.
2-1. Smithwick takes in the dirt. Lodis takes off for second. One hopper in. Tag applied in time. Lodis gets greedy. He's gunned out by the catcher Wilson Weber, and that ends the bottom of the second inning. Gina and Jean also gave a shout out to Stan and Laura Caskey. We give a shout out to Laura Caskey and her husband Stan as well. They set up every post-game meal for the team and for us. So a shout out to the Caskies as we end the bottom of the second inning. No runs on one hit, no errors, nobody left on for Chatham. Headed to the top of 2-0 A's on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places, but the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south.
Headed to the top of the third here at Veterans Field. Thanks for joining us wherever you might be tuning in from here on a beautiful night for baseball. Saturday night on Cape Cod in Chatham, Massachusetts, and the sky starting to darken. Temperature dipping towards 75 degrees, and the Anglers have a 2-0 lead on the Mariners, with the top of the order due up for Harwich. Cam Maldonado will lead things off. We'll keep going through the emails as we move into the top of the third here on Email Frenzy Night. Jack, what do you have for us?
We've got a lot of players, parents, and families that are chiming in. Chad Cox, watching from Moore, Oklahoma, wants to give out a shout out to his son, Chance Cox, starting pitcher, former reliever for the A's.
Love it. First pitch from Mojica to Maldonado is a ball inside. 1-0.
Says he wants to give a big thank you to the coaching staff, to the host families, and of course, Robbie, the groundskeeper.
What a night for Robbie Grenier tonight. 1-0. Slider, one high hop over to short. Fielded in the hole by Lodis. He throws to first. In time, they got him. Beats Maldonado by a half step. Backhand in the hole for Lodis after Chayton Krause, the third baseman, could not cut it off. First out of the third.
Harwich's Jake Ogden has his parents sending an email. Michael and Linda Ogden said they visited earlier this summer. They met Peter Burns at Cumberland Farms, and they're watching tonight for Jake.
Brings up Aiden Robbins, the pitch. Slider, wave, and a miss. One out in the top of the third at Veterans Field. That means roll call has started. Mojica with the 0-1. Fastball up and tight. Good shout out for Peter Burns from the Hugdens. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Harwich families welcome to email in as well. 1-1. Bouncer right back up the middle, over the second base bag, into center field. Aiden Robbins with the comebacker base hit. One out base knock in the third for the Mariners.
Keith and Jamie Payne, who are Garrett Payne's parents, are watching from Charlottesville, and they gave us a new nickname for Garrett, the Slim Reaper.
We'll have to run that one by him.
Yeah.
My guess is he's heard it before.
Isn't that also what they call Kevin Durant?
I'm going to be honest, I do not watch the NBA. Aiden Hilt to the plate from the left side, the pitch. Breaking ball up high, 1-0.
Kurt Van Emmen and Rachel Van Emmen, Gabe's parents, are watching from Lexington, Massachusetts.
1-0. Taken on the outer black, strike one.
They wanted to let us know we are awesome, and we appreciate that. They spend their summer evenings, they're listening to the games on the back patio with the big screen on.
That is awesome to hear. 1-1. Hit high and hard into right field. Larson looks back. He's at the fence. He is out of room, and this game is tied. Aiden Hill continues his hot start to the summer with Harwich. A late addition, and he launches it over the right center field fence. 2 apiece in the third.
Second baseman number 11, Cade Curlin.
First home run of the summer for Hill. First 2 runs of the ball game for the Mariners. Brings up Cade Curland. Pitch from Mojica. Swing and a miss. Runs the fastball up to 92 at the knees. We'll see how Mojica responds after a long shot. Second home run of the game. First for Harwich. 0-1. Skips in.
Lucas Hartman's grandma Beverly has also sent an email. She enjoys listening all the home games. She says we're very thorough in our stats, and she really enjoys the music.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Beverly, thank you for the email. We've enjoyed watching Lucas pitch, and I would assume hopefully at some point in the postseason he'll get another start for the A's because he was excellent his last time out.
1-2. Fastball tipped back to the net. That's one of the best parts of this is we get to be up here for the summer, and we are fortunate enough to bring you all of these games, and we have an absolute blast doing it. Not many better places to live for the summer. 1-2. Cranked high in the air and foul and out of play. Long battle put up from Cade Curland. Cleanup hitter today for Harwich. Popped up his first time to the dish. Low stance in the right-hand batter's box. Righty pitcher Mojica winds and fires. Slow roller up the third base line. Kraus charges, he gloves, he fires. Got him! Tough play, and Kraus made it just like he always does.
The first baseman, number 23,
Another day, another dazzling play at third for the New Zealander, Chayton Kraus.
More of Campbell Smithwick's family has chimed in. Kevin Lumpkin, second cousin of Campbell, watching on YouTube from Morganton, North Carolina.
First pitch to Matt Scannell. Fastball hit high and foul back behind the plate. 0-1. Can't say I've been to most of the cities we've heard. I have been to Charlottesville. Shout out the Pains. Great spot. Awesome college town. 0-1. Slow roller over the glove of Mojica. Davis charges at second. He flips. He got rid of it, and he got him in time. Couple of charging plays to end the inning for Chatham on the infield, but not before Harwich gets this game back to tied. It's a 2-run home run from Aiden Hill that puts us level at 2. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors in the field. Nobody left on. Harwich 2, Chatham 2, halfway through 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Bottom of the third inning, Chatham's top of the lineup goes back to work trying to retake the lead. Harwich has tied it at 2 as we head to the bottom of 3, and Campbell Smithwick leads things off for the A's. Still Andrew Evans on the mound for the Mariners. Tall righty at 6'5", 240 pounds. With a deep breath, he winds in his first pitch. Hit hard right back up the middle, a line drive base hit. Smithwick leads off with a single in the third inning, his first hit of the day. Brings up Chayton Krause, the home run hitter from the first inning for the A's. No shortage of hits the first 3 innings, already 10 combined. 6 for Chatham and 4 for Harwich. Right on right, the pitch. Catch is a piece on the inside corner. Krause backed out of the way to try and sell it, but he looked back and heard strike 1 rung up. Evans back to the stretch. He nods, he pitches. Swing and a miss. Throws another fastball, and Krause had ideas of a second home run. He went empty-handed, and he's down 0-2. Evans pitches. Swing and a miss. Elevated the heater, and he sets down Krause for the first out of the third. Third strikeout for Andrew Evans. He gets his revenge on Chayton Krause, who took him deep to right center field his first time. Ashton Larson doubled down the left field line when he first stepped up to the plate. Lefty swings with 1 on and 1 away. Tied at 2 in the bottom of 3. The pitch. Lined it short, caught on a line. Throw back to first, not in time. McNulty takes away a second base hit from Ashton Larson. Campbell Smithwick got back just in the nick of time at first base to avoid the double play. 2 down for Robin Villeneuve. Evans trying to get through the third inning. His pitch. Catches a piece. Inside corner has favored the pitcher here in the third inning. 0-1. Jack, in the first inning, there might have been questions in that Harwich dugout of how long Andrew Evans would last, but he's found his groove. 0-1. Hit on the ground, back up the middle, and through. Smithwick stops at second base. A's have 2 on with 2 outs.
Well, there certainly have been balls hit hard, and he's gotten some help from his defense. But you're right, he's settled down a little bit. But this is a spot where the A's could add on and reverse course a little bit.
That's already the 7th hit for Chatham in 3 innings, but Evans is just 1 out away from getting through the first 3 and just giving up the 2 runs in the bottom of the first. If he can do so, he'd keep it tied at 2 at Veterans Field. Daniel Jackson up the pitch. Curveball rides outside. 1-0. First look at that pitch here in the third inning after it was instrumental in setting down the first 2 in the second. Evans deals. Fastball catches a piece. Strike 1. Fans continue to pack into Veterans Field. Crowd growing by the minute. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Change up off the outside corner. Jackson swung through it. 1-2. Jackson, the freshman from Wofford, headed to Georgia next season, launched his first home run on Cape Cod yesterday at YD. 1-2. Tipped in the mitt, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Andrew Evans, and he's got back-to-back zeros on the scoreboard. Anglers go for no runs. 2 hits from the A's, no errors in the field, and 2 left on for Chatham. A's keep hitting the ball hard, but nothing to show for it in the bottom of the third inning, and Andrew Evans keeps things tied at 2. Chatham's going to go to the bullpen when we return in a 2-2 ball game with 6, 7, and 8 due up when we return. Keep the emails coming on Email Frenzy Night. Top of the fourth next in a tie ball game here at Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Headed to the top of the fourth here at Veterans Field. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith, and the Anglers and Mariners are tied at 2. And here is Jack for the middle 4 innings of play-by-play.
Andrew from your hometown is taking over on the mound. Andrew Williams, the new left-handed pitcher, into the game for the A's, as this call to the bullpen is presented by Chatham Bars Inn. A's and Harwich Mariners tied at 2 apiece right now as we head to the top of the fourth. Williams faces Wilson Weber, Jake Ogden, and Danny Dickinson. So the lefty pitcher goes to work against 3 right-handers. Crowd is thick here at Veterans Field. Final home game here for the A's of the regular season before the playoffs start on Tuesday. Lefty Williams is ready, faces the righty Weber. Pitch on the way. Swing and a tap foul out of the glove of Smithwick. There's no balls and 1 strike. Williams takes over for Augie Mojica, who went 3 innings in his first start for the A's, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, both of them coming earned on a 2-run home run by Aiden Hill last inning. Williams works exclusively from the stretch. He stares in for his sign and now comes set. 0-1 pitch. In the dirt with a breaking ball, 1-1. Williams is 6'2", 205. Georgetown Junior, working on his 5th appearance of the year for the A's. So far a .284 earned run average across 6 1/3. 1-1 pitch. Outside with a fastball, 2-1. Williams last threw on the final day of July. Here we are, 3rd of August, Saturday night matchup between the A's and the Mariners. Lefty Williams ready. He fires. Outside again, 3 balls and 1 strike. Against Hyannis in that game, Williams went just 2/3 of an inning, but he came over, he got the final 2 outs of the ball game after Cam Johnson really struggled. 3-1 to Weber. Check swing at a high fastball, and he held up, ball 4. Williams tested him above the zone, and Weber had his whole body cross the plane, but he kept his hands back, forced himself to not swing, and draws a leadoff base on balls. So runner at first, nobody out as Jake Ogden comes to the plate. A's had entered that 9th inning against Hyannis with a 10-3 lead. Eventually won 10-7, but the Harbor Hawks almost hit a game-tying grand slam. Williams, though, got the save. Here's Ogden with a runner at first. Third baseman draws in the pitch. Hits the outside corner, a slider, 0-1. It was Williams' first save and his first opportunity. So far, he's given up 2 earned runs across those 6 1/3 on only 2 hits. 0-1 pitch. Ogden pops it up foul. Got a pitch on the outer half he could handle, but he couldn't straighten it out, and he popped it up over the netting behind home plate. So no balls and 2 strikes on Jake Ogden. Wilson Weber at first, nobody out in the inning. 2-2 between Harwich and Chatham, top of the 4th. Williams deals, and it's lined right at Lodis, over his head into left. Went lunging a bit to his right, and it skips out to Williams in left. An 0-2 base hit for Jake Ogden. Pitch was about half a foot too high, otherwise Lodis would have made the lunging catch to his right in the air. Instead, back-to-back base runners start the 4th for Harwich. With 2 aboard and nobody out, here's Danny Dickinson, the right-handed DH from LSU. Popped out to first base his first time up. That was against Mojica. Now the lefty Williams enters the game for the A's. Works from the stretch, sets his front foot, and pitches. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. We have another email from Chance Cox's family. Jesse Couch reaches out, says, shout out to my son, Chance Cox. Watching from Oklahoma, and he says, love mom. 1-0 to Dickinson. High with a fastball, 2-0. Smithwick jumped as if he was going to pick back to first, but Villeneuve is well off of the bag. 2 balls and no strikes. Weber at second, Ogden at first for Harwich in the top of the 4th. Williams stares into Smithwick and comes set with the sign. 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. If there's been one thing specifically that Williams has struggled with this summer, it's been the walk. Here in his 7th inning of work, he's got 7 walks if you include the first one to Weber to start the inning. Looking to avoid a second of the frame to load the bases. 3-0. Low, ball 4. So the bases are indeed loaded. The 9-hole man Sam McNulty comes up, bases juiced, and nobody out. Chatham and Harwich tied at 2, top of the 4th, but the Mariners have a real shot to take their first lead of the night. Campbell Smithwick takes the long walk out to the mound. He'll chat things over with Andrew Williams.
Good time to get to some more emails, Jack.
Absolutely, you read my mind.
Steve Keenan from Duluth, Georgia has chimed in to thank for a great season. Again, if you want to email in tonight, chathambroadcast@gmail.com. chathambroadcast@gmail.com for Email Frenzy Night. Jason from Dorchester, Massachusetts, first season following the Anglers, said that listening to Chatham games has been one of his favorite parts of the summer. And he has a question. He has asked who is curating the music in between innings. Well, we'll tell you.
First, Sam McNulty to the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out. Pitch from Williams. McNulty lines it foul. Off the netting, 0-1.
There's plenty of Bruce Springsteen on,
which we can't take credit for.
Yeah. A lot of the music has been around since 2003 when broadcasting on Cape Cod here in Chatham was started.
McNulty back of the box. 0-1 pitch. He checks his swing and takes inside, 1-1. I also have been around since 2003. To put that in perspective.
Last year we celebrated 20 years of broadcasting on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
1-1 from Williams. Inside, throw back to first. Villeneuve has to dive for it, but he keeps it in front. A's had a real chance to get Danny Dickinson at first, but Smithwick's throw was up the line. So Villeneuve had to dive, and he kept it in front and saved a run. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's Weber at third, Ogden at second, Danny Dickinson, the runner, at first. Harwich and Chatham tied at 2, top of the 4th. And Williams comes set at the belt. 2-1. Fouled away. Add a play down the right field line. 2-2.
We've had some new additions to the playlists. We try and change some of the songs up game to game. If you've got something for us, I guess you could email us. We'll see what we can do about getting it in down the home stretch. Last game of the regular season tomorrow, and then at least one playoff game on Tuesday here at Veterans Field.
1-2. Line back to the screen. So McNulty stays alive. He's at the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out for Harwich. Already 12 hits combined between these two teams through the first 3+ innings. Williams bends at the waist as he peers into Smithwick. Nods for his sign. 2-2 count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. McNulty waves at the breaking ball, and that's the first out of the 4th. Flip the lineup card over, keep the bases loaded. Cam Maldonado's coming up. I do think, Andrew, we have found a balance between some newer songs, some older songs, some songs that have been around here forever, and some ones that we've introduced to the sessions.
Yeah, you can't change everything, Jack.
No. That would be doing a disservice to our predecessors. Here is Cam Maldonado. First pitch. He hits it high in the air down the right field line. Hooking away from Larson. Down, a base hit. Karams off the wall. Weber comes around to score. Ogden turns third. He comes to the plate. Stop signs at third for Dickinson as Maldonado chugs into second with a 2 RBI double. He smacked that off the wall in right field and gives Harwich a 4-2 lead in the top of the 4th. So the Mariners lead for the first time tonight, and they take advantage of the bases loaded opportunity. Left 3 on base in the second. First batter retired by Williams with the bases loaded here in the 4th, but Maldonado makes him pay for a pitch left over the plate. Now Aiden Robbins comes up as the infield comes in for the A's. 2 runs in, 1 out. Now runners at second and third. Lefty Williams looks at the righty Robbins. He pitches. Low breaking ball misses. 1-0. We have a couple of emails from angler intern parents. As time is called by the umpire over at second. That's the first base umpire, Jeff Merzel. 2 baseballs went over the center field fence, so Ty Johnson has to run him down and give him back to the fans. Both Stephen and Lisa Wolf, the parents of one of our beat writers, Zach Wolf, have chimed in over the email. As it's 1 ball and no strikes on Aiden Robbins, who's already picked up a base hit tonight. 1-0 delivery. Robbins pops it up. Robin Villeneuve from first drifts back. He's onto the outfield grass. In foul territory, he makes the catch. Runner at third, Dickinson, bluffed as if he was going to tag, but he's back to the bag, and it's a non-productive out from Aiden Robbins. So 2 outs, second and third. Stephen Wolf says he's listening from the Shore, Margate, New Jersey. Very proud of Zach Wolf. His mother, Lisa, effusive in her praise for Zach. And I agree, we should give a shout out to the awesome beat writers, Zach Wolf and Cooper Andrews. They have done a phenomenal job covering the team. As another baseball is into center field and Johnson's got to go pick it up. He does so. He's back to his perch. And we finally get ready for Aiden Hill, the left-handed batter. Zach and Cooper do a tremendous job. They do so much for us. Game recaps, features. Long pause in the first pitch to Hill. Is low with a changeup, 1-0. She says, go Zach and Cooper, and we agree. Williams stares into Smithwick, has trouble finding the sign, and now comes set at the belt. Second and third, 2 outs, 2 runs in, and the 1-0. Hill takes low with a fastball, 2-0.
You can read all of Zach and Cooper's work from the summer. ChathamAnglers.com, and then the news tab. All the game recaps, previews, and plenty of fascinating feature stories about different players and parts of this league.
2-0 offering. Hill lofts it high in the air, foul third base side. Kraus over towards the dugout. He looks, and it is out of play. Comes down behind the Chatham dugout. It just misses our crowd mic. That was almost toast. It's not. It's strike one.
Lives to see another pitch.
And another email at some point. 2-1 on Aiden Hill. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Harwich now on top, 4-2, top of the fourth, on a 2 RBI double from Cam Maldonado. 2-1 pitch. Outside with a breaking ball, 3-1. Do you have a favorite article that Cooper and Zach have done? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, I think for those that have been up here to Chatham, Cooper's article about Robbie Grenier, the groundskeeper, how he's winning the Lifetime Achievement Award from the league this year, that's a must-read.
3-1. Fouled away. Out of play, 3-2.
I also think it's quite cool. They've done a handful of feature stories about players that started the summer in Chatham and are already drafted and playing minor league baseball. Phil Fox, Griffin Herring. Cool stories about those guys that have already heard their names called, have already signed. They're pitching in the minors.
Dickinson coming home. He is out. Well, he tried to steal on Andrew Williams, but the Georgetown lefty caught him, and that's the final out of the inning. First time this year we've seen anyone try and swipe home, and it is an unsuccessful attempt for Danny Dickinson. He's thrown out for the final out of the inning, but Harwich does get 2 runs on a pair of hits and a pair of walks. No errors in the field, 1 runner left on base. So the Mariners lead 4-2. We head to the bottom of the fourth. More from Email Friendly Night. Send us one at chathambroadcast@gmail.com. A's trail by 2. It'll be Davis, Johnson, and Williams when we come back here from Veterans Field.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Jaden Davis, Ty Johnson, Jordan Williams coming up for the A's, who trail for the first time tonight as we enter the bottom of the fourth. Harwich on top 4-2 as Andrew Evans is back on the mound with a lead for the first time tonight. Right-hander works from the windup and misses high with a fastball, 1-0. Davis a righty, then Johnson a lefty. Jordan Williams a switch hitter who will swing it from the left side. 1-0 to Davis. Swing and a miss. Tardy on a fastball, 1-1. It's Email Frenzy Night here at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Plenty more to get to throughout the night. 1-1. High to Davis with a fastball, 2-1. And as always, you can send us one if you want. chathambroadcast@gmail.com. Your name, where you're listening from, who you're listening for, questions or comments. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Davis. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was ahead of a breaking ball. Our parents, Andrew, have chimed in.
Yeah, we'll get to those later.
2-2 pitch. Davis chops it foul. They can wait. They know we'll get to him eventually.
They'll be tuned in all night.
Paul Daly reaches out, though. It's been a while. We had to get to this one. His son, Owen Daly, a massive Anglers fan, he says. 2-2 on Davis. Evans throws, and Davis pops it up. Sky high, but out of play behind home plate. So it's still 2-2. Paul says his son Owen, when they're not in Chatham, is watching on YouTube, and he says every night, period. So, Owen, thank you for listening. It's a pleasure to have you as a fan. And the A's, I'm sure, 2-2. High with a breaking ball, 3-2. Would all love to know that there's a 10-year-old out there that watches them on YouTube every single day.
Shout out to Owen. Said he's looking forward to the playoffs, and so are we.
3-2. And Davis chops it towards third. Third baseman Ogden gives ground. He throws way wide into the camera well off the first base dugout, and that gives Jaden Davis second. Ogden had to spin well to his left as he almost cut off the shortstop McNulty. He unleashed a throw, and it was nowhere close. So Jaden Davis reaches. He's given a hit, and then an error on the third baseman Ogden allows him to advance from first to second. Goes down as a single and an E5. First error of the night for Harwich. 4-2 Mariners on top, as here's Ty Johnson. Runner at second, nobody out. Pitch to Johnson. Is bounced towards short. McNulty to his right, fields, he throws, and he gets Johnson. But Davis goes second to third, and Johnson moves him to 90 feet away from Jordan Williams. I'm not sure I can get over the loyalty here from Owen.
A's are trying to get a run for Owen here in the fourth.
See if Jordan Williams can bring it home. Davis at third, one out. A 2-run deficit, corners in, middle back. Pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner. It's 0-1. That was back to the big curveball for Andrew Evans. It's been a pitch that's helped him get out of a lot of jams tonight. Switch hitter Williams from the left side. 0-1 pitch. Taken low. That time back to the curveball, but below the zone, and a good take from Williams, 1-1. Williams struck out looking. Second strikeout for Evans. That was back in the second inning. Since then, 2 more A's have gone down with the K. 1-1 pitch. Low again. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Jack, there's not a ton of fans that predate the Cape Cod Baseball Network from 21 years ago, but shout out to the Boyds who have been fans for 30 years for Chatham. That's loyalty right there.
Shout out. 2-1. Inside to Williams. 3 balls and 1 strike. Where are they emailing?
Boyds are tuned in from Frederick, Maryland.
Love it. It's a state that I will check off the list later this year. Don't think I'll be in Frederick, but I'll go to Maryland.
Why not?
Flight doesn't go in there, and I can't get a rental car yet.
Youngin.
3-1. Misses outside, ball 4. Williams gives an underhand toss of the bat back to the dugout. He reaches base, and the A's have runners at the corners with 1 out.
So a fun fact about Frederick, Maryland. Man that just reached base for Chatham, Jordan Williams, he spent 9 games with the Frederick Keys in the draft league earlier this summer.
Yes, what a coincidence that is. I wonder if he crossed paths with our 30-year fans. Here's Kyle Odis, righty batter, righty pitcher. Here it comes. On the outside corner, 0-1. Williams is at first, Davis at third. A's trying to score a run for Owen. 4-2 deficit, bottom of the 4th. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lodis is behind in the count, 0-2. Lodis singled in the second. Was thrown out at second base after trying to advance on a ball in dirt to end the inning. Williams off of first. The pick goes back his way, and he dives back in safely. Williams' walk was the first of the night for Andrew Evans. And Williams has a burst of speed. 15 of 16 on stolen base attempts this year at Florida State. He's 0 for 1 this summer with the A's. See if he goes. 0-2, he does not. And it's tipped into the mitt, strike 3. Big 3-pitch strikeout for Andrew Evans. Didn't take a hit for the A's to score there, but Evans pitching for the strikeout picks it up. 5th K of the night for Evans for the second out of the 4th. 4-2 Harwich, bottom of the 4th. Top of the order comes back to the plate for the A's. It's Campbell Smithwick. His family's been emailing. He's 1 for 2 tonight. RBI spot here with runners at the corners, 2 outs. Pitch to him. Taken for a strike. Fastball inner half, and it's 0-1. Davis legs out a lead at third. Williams dangles into one off of first. The 0-1 pitch. Williams is chugging along, and Smithwick hammers it into the gap left center field. Davis comes in to score. Williams races around third. He gets the stop sign. He holds up, and Smithwick slides into second with an RBI double. A run on the board for Owen, and Chatham's now down by just one, 4-3 in the bottom of the fourth. Second hit of the day for Campbell Smithwick. He doubles for the fourth straight game and picks up an RBI. And now the A's have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
Jack, with Williams' speed, I'm a little surprised he's still standing at third base. I thought he might get the send sign there. He put the brakes on about 5 feet after he turned the bag.
He was chugging from first to second trying to steal, and Smithwick laced it the other way into the opposite field gap. Chatham's left-handed hitting catcher is one of the hottest hitters in the Cape right now. Mound visit occurs for Harwich. Pitching coach a quick mound visit with Andrew Evans. Blocks his mouth with his bare hand, gives a couple of words to his starting pitcher, and now departs, leaving Evans in. A run in for the A's on 2 hits in the inning. Kyle O'D struck out with a runner in scoring position, but Campbell Smithwick comes through with 2 away. Here's Chayton Krause now, who already has a home run and an RBI tonight. Chance with a hit, and Smithwick's speed put the A's back in front. Evans deals inside to Krause, 1-0. Williams, with all of his speed, is over at third. Smithwick at second. And a right-hander warms up in the pen for Harwich. See how long the leash is for Andrew Evans. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch was a good 2 feet above the strike zone, but Chayton Krause hacked at it and came up empty, 1-1.
Danny Macchiarola, the sophomore from Holy Cross, is warming up. 6.55 ERA in 9 2/3 innings.
Swing and a miss again from Krause, 1-2. We've seen Macchiarola a couple of times with Harwich. Have to assume that any more damage here in the inning, and he might be coming in from the pen. Second and third, 2 away. 1-2 to Krause. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Again, he chased well above the zone. Krause was looking to make an impact in the fourth, and he strikes out for the second consecutive time. But the A's get a run for Owen on 2 hits in the inning. No errors rather 1 error in the field, and 2 runners left on base. They're back down just 1, 4-3, Harwich on top. We head to the 5th. It'll be Hill, Kurland, and Scannell for the Mariners when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life. In a world that keeps on pushing me around, but I'll stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
Top of the 5th, coming at you live here at Veterans Field. Harwich leads Chatham 4-3, the score top of the fifth. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 spots in the order for Harwich. Aiden Hill, Cade Curland, and Matt Scannell against the lefty Andrew Williams. Williams on for his second inning of work. Gave up a couple of runs in the fourth. Lefty faces the lefty Aiden Hill. He comes home. And Hill skies it on the infield left side. Kraus, the third baseman, calls for it. He has to race in as the wind plays with it, but he makes the catch. 1 pitch in, 1 out in the fifth. It's email frenzy night, as we have talked about here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We've got a couple more to get to, but feel free to fill up our inbox a little bit more. If you're listening and you want to tell us who you are, where you're listening from, and ask us a couple of questions, maybe some comments, chathambroadcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. Cade Curland now to the plate. Right-handed hitting second baseman. Pitch on the outside corner with a fastball. 0-1. 1 out and the base is empty. Top of the fifth inning. Harwich up on Chatham 4-3 as the Mariners look for a win to clinch a playoff spot. 0-1 home. Tapped out of the mitt of Smithwick and back to the screen. 0-2. Curland is 0 for 2 tonight. Both of his at-bats coming against Augie Mojica, the starter. He popped up to short in the second, bounced out to third in the third. Infield plays him deep. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Williams set from the stretch. Pitches high with a fastball, 1-2. We have a couple of emails from former Chatham broadcasters. We already got you the ones from Max, Hers, and Ian Unsworth. Ian's partner, and Andrew, your partner from last summer, Joe Puccio, has chimed in. First, the 1-2 pitch from Andrew Williams. Here it comes. And it's popped up foul. Out of play, first base side, still 1-2. Joe wants to thank us for an entertaining season. He says it was a joy to listen for a multitude of reasons. But he believes that after 2 summers here, we were able to replicate the experience of being at a game at Veterans Field over the airwaves. 1-2. In the dirt with a breaking ball. 2-2. He says enjoy the playoffs. He can't wait to listen. And he also wants us to say hi to John and Jan for him the next time we visit Short and Sweet.
Shout out to Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Official ice cream of the Anglers. We were there last night.
2-2 pitch. Outside a changeup, 3-2. They've already brought you the defensive alignment, and they served us up immaculate ice cream last night. Blueberry pie, one of the best flavors I have ever had. 3-2 pitch. Curland lines it foul. Back to the netting, still 3-2. I consider myself a connoisseur of sorts when it comes to ice cream.
What goes into being a connoisseur of ice cream?
If you work in an ice cream shop, you have to try a lot of flavors.
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
Get to know the product, perhaps a little too well. 3-2 from Williams. Curland spanks it foul. Way high and deep down the right field line, out of play. We stay full. So I've tried a lot of flavors. I've tried ice cream from around the United States. Coffee Oreo was great first couple times at Short and Sweet. But the blueberry pie has knocked my socks off in our last 2 visits. If you're in Chatham and you're planning on going to Short and Sweet for the rest of the summer, please try the blueberry pie, but don't sell it out. Another 3-2. Curland bounces it towards third. Kraus charges near the bag. He's got it, and he throws him out at first. Long battle from Cade Curland, but Andrew Williams wins it, and there's 2 away.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you worked at the ice cream shop, what was the best flavor there?
I was a big fan of marble black raspberry.
What the heck is that?
So it's vanilla ice cream, and it's got a black raspberry puree that is laced throughout, intertwined between the ice cream. So it's not...
So why can't it just be black raspberry ice cream?
Because it's marbled. It's marbled.
Okay.
Here's Matt Scannell. 2 outs, the base is empty. And the pitch. Outside, 1-0.
And
it's the same way that you would get a ripple of something.
Yeah.
It's the marbling.
Does that compare to blueberry pie?
Those are probably the best 2 fruit flavored ice creams I've ever had. 1-0. Scannell hits it high in the air, but shallow right center field. Johnson over to his left, and he makes the catch. Gets it in the webbing of the glove. Not quite a snow cone, not quite an ice cream cone.
Shout out German chocolate cake, best flavor at Short and Sweet.
Andrew's entitled to his opinion, even though it's wrong. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway home on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. More emails, probably more ice cream to follow. With the A's trailing 4-3, we step away on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Johnny's got his 6-string high. Now he's opening what he used to make it talk so tough. It's tough. Gina dreams of running away. She cries in the nighttime and whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We're giving it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Living on a prayer. We gotta hold on, ready or not. You live for the fight when that's all that you got. We're halfway there. Living on a prayer. Take my hand and we'll make it, I swear. Living on a prayer. Halfway there.
Back for the bottom of the 5th here at Veterans Field. A's trail the Harwich Mariners 4-3. As 3, 4, and 5 come up in the A's order. Ashton Larson, Robin Villeneuve, and Daniel Jackson to the plate. They'll face a new right-handed reliever for Harwich. Danny Macchiarola enters the game in relief of the starter, Andrew Evans. Steps in from the windup, and he pitches to Larson. And the first pitch is shot down the left field line, foul. Good couple yards to the left of the line, but it's no balls and 1 strike on Larson. Larson doubled in the first inning, came around to score the second of 2 Chatham runs. 0-1 on the outside corner. 2-seam fastball, 0-2. Hit extended Larson's hitting streak. He's at 7 games now. 0-2 pitch, taken low. Change up, 1-2. Larson entered tonight 5th in the league in batting average. He has soared up the average. It was .327 coming into the night. Now it's .330 as he chops 1 foul, still 1-2. Continue on for email frenzy night. We got to Joe Puccio's email on the last half inning. Another Chatham broadcaster alum. 1-2 pitch. Larson hits it high in the air, center field. Deep, but not quite deep enough. Hill comes in from center, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Emmanuel Berbari has chimed in. He must have stepped out of the press box to send this email. He's visiting as he has an off series. Emmanuel, who was here in 2021, is one of the new radio broadcasters for the New York Yankees. How about that? 3 years ago, he was here for a summer, and now he's with the Yankees as one of the broadcasters following John Sterling. Here's Robin Villeneuve. He takes a strike on the outer half, 0-1. Emmanuel says from a washed-up but proud former Chatham broadcaster. Not sure I would agree with that. 0-1. Villeneuve hits it high in the air. Deep right field. Maldonado knows it. Gone! 3/4 of the way up the berm. Robin Villeneuve homers again, and he ties it at 4 here in the 5th. He hit that all the way back to Quebec. His 3rd home run of the summer is the 10th hit of the night for the A's, and he missed Depot Road by maybe 10 feet. Dugout welcomes him back. He gets salutes, high fives. He's the 2nd Chatham home run tonight. Here's Daniel Jackson, and he grounds one sharply to short. McNulty over to his left, gobbles it up, and throws him out.
How about Robin? 3 for 3 tonight.
Most recent hit, a home run to tie things at 4. Robin has extended his hit streak to 6 games. He's 3 for 3 tonight, a pair of singles and a home run. Here's Jaden Davis and the pitch on the outside corner. Snowballs and 1 strike.
We appreciate the email from Emmanuel. We've got an email from Scott Kellett. He's watching in Terre Haute, Indiana.
0-1 is low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he's tuned in to watch Jack Nedro. He said he's now a USF fan as Jack is transferring from Lee University to the South Florida Bulls.
1-1 is nicked foul back to the screen, 1-1. Nedro was really good yesterday for the A's. 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed in 3 innings pitched. Couple of strikeouts. Maybe earned himself some pitching time in the playoffs. 1-2. Swing and a miss from Davis, strike 3. So that retires the side here in the 5th, but Robin Villeneuve has tied things back up here at Veterans Field. His 3rd home run of the year makes it 4-4 as we finish 5 here in Chatham. Heading to the 6th, we're tied 4-4. It'll be Weber, Ogden, and Dickinson for Harwich when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up, headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me awake at night, one little piece would make everything right. If I could just turn off my brain. But now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. We fought hard over nothing. We fought till nothing remained. I've carried that nothing for a long time. Now I carry my operator's license and spend my days just running this crane. And my baby's coming in on the Tucson train.
New pitcher into the game with a newly tied ball game, top of the 6th. A's bring on Garrett Payne in relief of Andrew Williams as this call to the bullpen is presented by Chatham Bars Inn. 4-4 top 6 as Harwich brings up 3 righties, Wilson Weber, Jake Ogden, and Danny Dickinson. Eric Beatty switches from the lefty Williams to the tall righty, the Slim Reaper, Garrett Payne. Garrett Payne operates from the windup. First base side of the rubber, he looks at Weber. 6'7" reliever nods for his sign. He kicks in, he deals. Weber lines it straight back, 0-1.
Not the first time that Harwich sees Garrett Payne. When these two met 5 days ago, Harwich won it 5-2, but Payne was locked down out of the pen. Struck out 2 in 2 2/3 scoreless, didn't allow a hit.
0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. On the season, Payne has made 5 appearances. He's transferring from NC State to Tulane, and here on the Cape this summer, a 5.11 ERA, and he's eaten up 12 1/3 innings. He comes home 1-1, and Weber cracks it foul. Late swing on an outdoor breaking ball. Fouled away 1-2.
Couple of final lines for you. Augie Mojica, the starter for Chatham, goes 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed, both earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts for Chatham's starter.
Payne stares in for his sign, glove held at the belt. Brings it up in front of his face. A 1-2. And Weber chops it towards short. In comes Lodis. He's got it, and he throws him out. 1 away.
Final line for Andrew Williams, the first reliever for Chatham. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Williams replaced by the second reliever today for Chatham, Garrett Payne.
I feel like I slighted Garrett a bit. I said 6'7". He's 6'8", according to our listed height weight. 210, and his parents call him the Slim Reaper. Got an email from them earlier here on Email Frenzy Night. First pitch to Jake Ogden is taken for a strike. Outer half with a fastball, 0-1. If you want to send us an email, continue to flood our inbox. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. Who you are, where you're listening from, who you're listening for. Comments and questions. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. High fastball. It's 0-2.
We've got an email from the Batty family, Jack.
Excellent.
Eric Batty, Chatham's interim manager. His wife Molly and his 2 sons Jackson and Tate.
Garrett Payne from the windup. Here's his 0-2. High with a fastball, 1-2.
So the 3 of them have said we loved meeting us up here while they were here. They enjoy listening while they're at home, and they're thankful to be a part of such a great organization.
1-2 from Payne. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. This time the slider gets Jake Ogden to fish for it. 2 outs. 4-4 tie, top of the 6th between Chatham and Harwich. And with 2 outs, Danny Dickinson comes up.
I would echo that right back to the Batys as well. Great to meet Jackson and Tate while they were up here, family up here for a couple weeks this summer. They got to hang out around the players. It's been awesome to meet the Batty family this summer.
First pitch, low to Dickinson, 1-0. Met some of the Batty clan at the Beachcomber. Do not believe that interim manager Eric Batty was in attendance that day. He probably had baseball things to focus on. 1-0 pitch. Outside to Dickinson, 2-0. But it was good to meet, I believe it was the Batty kids and their aunt at the Beachcomber.
Jackson and Tate.
Jackson and Tate. Future anglers. 2-0. Dickinson hits a high fly ball. Deep center field. Johnson's at the track. He leaps and he caught it. Flying in center, Ty Johnson pulls down the final out of the inning. That had home run written all over it, but Johnson never gave up, and he secures the final out of the inning. Garrett Payne hasn't walked off the field of play yet. He's waiting, and he's the first one to greet Johnson back. Those two dap. He gets a tap on the chest, and that finishes the 6th. Acrobatic catch in center for Ty Johnson sends us to the bottom half of the inning. 4-4. We're still tied here at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I'll bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? If I ask you twice and beg you pretty please. She'd have said yes in a New York minute. They never tied a knot. His heart wasn't in it. He just stole a kiss as he rode away. He never hung his hat up at Kitty's place. I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope and ride, wearing my 6-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's hearts, just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy.
Hi, this is Kyle Odise from Georgia Tech. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Go Jackets.
Bottom of the 6th coming to you here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Still a 4-4 tie between Chatham and Harwich. And the man of the minute comes to the plate, Ty Johnson, who maybe robbed a home run to finish the top half of this inning. Certainly an extraordinary jumping catch. But he's the first batter to face Danny Macchiarola. The pitch. Johnson takes inside 1-0. Johnson the lefty, and then Jordan Williams and Kyle Lodice. Switch hitter and then a right-handed batter. Macchiarola, the righty reliever, delivers. Johnson takes a strike. Outer half with a fastball, 1-1. Johnson with his orange bat taps the plate, steps in the box, and the 1-1 is chopped over towards second. Curlin moves to his left, he gets the high hop, and he zips the throw to first to get Johnson one away. We will pause on the emails here for a second. Still fill up our inbox at chathambroadcast@gmail.com. It's time to talk for a bit about the Cape League scoreboard, brought to you by our friends at Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. One of the most important days on the Cape all year, and the day with the most games of any day this year. Here's Jordan Williams. He takes a strike. Slider on the outer half, 0-1. 7 games played today. We're one of just a mere 7. 2 double headers in action. 0-1. Williams bounces it foul. 0-2. Andrew, where do you want to start?
I mean, we already said the early 3, so we'll just remind you of them. Bourne won the early game of the doubleheader at Orleans 4-0, and Falmouth won the early game of the doubleheader at Cotuit 7-5.
Williams front of the box against the righty Macchiarola. The pitch. Outside with a fastball, 1-2.
Brewster kept its playoff hopes alive with a 13-5 win at home against YD. First win in 16 days for the Whitecaps.
1-2 is chopped on one, high hop to third. Ogden waits for it to come down, throws wide, and Williams is taken out at first. Scannell leapt for it. They call Williams out. He jumped right into Williams, knocked him over, landed as a pancake on top of him, and somehow Jeff Merzell called Williams out.
Yeah, he missed that one.
I mean, Scannell had to leap into the air, went full flight to try and pull down that throw. If not, it was going to miss well up the line. Williams would have easily beaten it out, but Scannell jumped into the line and table-topped Jordan Williams. Just completely clotheslined him.
I also don't think he ever tagged him.
All the umpires will meet after Eric Beatty came out to have a word. Unless Williams just never touched the bag, that's the only explanation that I'd have there, because Scannell could have still gotten the force. He fell right on top of Williams, and they say he's still out. That gets a couple of boos, and we don't hear those all that often at Veterans Field. I'm not sure I can process that play without seeing it again many times. Scannell jumped into the air to pull down the throw. He had to jump into the baseline. As here's Kyle Lodice, and it's outside 1-0. And Williams, who would have easily beat the play, was just completely decked. So 2 outs, the base is empty, and the 1-0. Lodis cracks it foul off the helmet of the catcher, Weber, 1-1.
Keeping going on the Cape League scoreboard, Jack.
A slight distraction.
Hyannis has an 11-4 lead over Wareham. With the Hyannis win, Harborhawks would clinch the West Division.
1-1 inside, 2-1.
And that's in the middle of the 8th. So the Harborhawks are 3 outs away from clinching first seed in the West. Falmouth trails at home 7-3, top of the 9th to Cotuit. Game 2 of that doubleheader.
2-1 pitch. Lodis pops it up out of play, 2-2.
So with Wareham trailing, Cotuit leading, that puts Cotuit in a good spot where they could take a 2-point lead on second place. And they've got the tiebreaker over Wareham. So second seed appears to be Cotuit's in the West.
2-2. Lodis bounces it back up the middle, past the shortstop McNulty into center. 2-out base hit for Kyle Lodis, and there's a runner aboard for Chatham and a 4-4 tie, bottom of the 6th.
So the playoff spot's starting to shape up. Bourne, meanwhile, is up 7-3, bottom of the 5th on Orleans. That's looking like a possible sweep of the doubleheader for the Braves. Although if Bourne could win both, that would get things awfully interesting in the West.
Here's Campbell Smithwick as a pick goes to first, and Lodis dives in.
As the Braves, who have been in the 4 seed all season long, could jump up to a tie for third with Wareham.
There's not a hotter team on Cape Cod right now than the Bourne Braves. Here's Campbell Smithwick. First pitch, no. Pick back to first. Lodis again back in, this time with a lunge. So Orleans losing both games is good for Harwich. Pitch to Smithwick, outside, 1-0. Right now, the Firebirds are the main competition for the Mariners in terms of the 3 seed. And you really want to have the 3 in the East. Whoever's the 4 has to go play YD with the best record in the league. 1-0 to Smithwick. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. 4 playoff teams have already been figured out in the West. It's Hyannis, Cotuit, Wareham, Bourne. Falmouth is the only team in the league eliminated. Brewster could have been eliminated today. Another pick to first, and Lodis is back. Seems for now, Andrew, like the Whitecaps will avoid being eliminated tonight.
Yeah.
And their season will be decided tomorrow, which is the last day of the year.
Yeah, because if either Harwich or Orleans falls, then Brewster stays alive.
Long pause from Macchiarola and the 2-0. Smithwick lines it foul. Out of play, third base side, 2-1. Lodis at first, 2 outs in the inning. A 4-4 tie between Chatham and Harwich, bottom of the 6th. Macchiarola set from the stretch. Pitches. Smithwick grounds it foul. Late on the fastball, and he sent it the other way, 2-2. And so, if the scores hold and Orleans loses, I guess we figure out what happens with Harwich. But for now, let's imagine a Harwich loss. What would the situations be going into tomorrow? First, the 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Lodis goes. It's outside. Throw down from Weber is late. Lodis steals second. Puts himself into scoring position as the count moves full on Campbell Smithwick.
So if every result holds, you want Harwich losing here or winning here?
We said Harwich, imagine a loss.
Okay. Harwich would have a 2-point lead on both Orleans and Brewster. So the best those 2 teams could do is tie Harwich.
3-2. Outside, ball 4. A little bit low, too, with the fastball, and Smithwick draws a walk. 2 aboard, 2 outs for Chayton Krause.
So then it would come down to tiebreakers, in which case, say either Orleans or Brewster wins and the other doesn't, then one of those teams would be eliminated tomorrow.
First pitch to Krause on the inside half, 0-1. Tomorrow, Chatham heads to Orleans for Game 40. Brewster and Harwich play each other in Game 40. So Brewster would control its own destiny with a chance to beat the Mariners. 0-1 pitch. Krause breaks his bat. One hot line drive to short. McNulty goes the short way, and he forces out Smithwick at second. A's get no runs on one hit in the inning. They also get a walk and leave 2 on base. We head to the 7th, still a 4-4 tie. Harwich fighting for the playoffs. Chatham looking for a winning record this season, looking to stay alive. We head to the 7th, it's still 4-4. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Mariners when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president. Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue. Only in America, where we dream as big as we want to. We all get a chance.
Time for the top of the 7th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham and Harwich tied at 4. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Mariners' order with Sam McNulty, Cam Maldonado, and Aiden Robbins. 3 right-handers due up against Garrett Payne. 6'8" righty reliever on the hill for the A's. Nods for his sign, pitches from the windup. And McNulty grounds it foul off his foot, 0-1.
Jack, one finishing thought to the Cape League scoreboard that we almost finished in the last half inning, presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, I should say.
Mashup. 0-1 pitch first. That's a strike. Fastball in the outer half, 0-2.
So even if Harwich loses, a Harwich win here tonight clinches a playoff spot for Harwich. If Harwich loses but Orleans also loses tonight, then Harwich would clinch a playoff spot too.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. McNulty packs his bags way tardy on a fastball. First out of the inning on just 3 pitches.
The reason there is it'd be Harwich with 30 points, Orleans and Brewster both with 28. Those 3 fighting for 2 playoff spots, and in the worst case for Harwich there is a Harwich loss tomorrow, Brewster and Orleans win, and a 3-way tie for 3rd. Tiebreaker favors the Mariners and the Firebirds, and Brewster would be out.
Top of the order, Cam Maldonado. He swings and lines it off of Smithwick, the catcher, 0-1.
But if Orleans comes back to beat Bourne, again, it's 7-3 Bourne in the 6th, then Orleans would be tied with Harwich in points. And the Firebirds could pass the Mariners tomorrow, and a Brewster win over Harwich would mean a tie for last with Brewster and Harwich, and the Whitecaps would have the tiebreaker.
0-1. Low with a fastball, 1-1. Whitecaps did their job today, a 13-5 win over YD. Was looking like the Whitecaps might not win another game all year after July 17th. 1-1. Taken for a strike, 1-2. But somehow the Whitecaps beat the #1 team in the East. They stay alive. And at least they will not be eliminated tonight.
Unless Harwich and Orleans both win.
Yes. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks as Maldonado goes down swinging. And there's 2 outs in the 7th. Although right now, Bourne seems to have a pretty big chokehold on that game over Orleans.
Right, and again, if that result holds, no matter what happens here, Harwich is playoff bound.
2 outs, the base is empty, a 4-4 tie, top of the 7th. Aiden Robbins comes up during a 1-for-3 day for the Mariners. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Garrett Payne. He has struck out back-to-back hitters. Nods for his sign, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Aggressive slider from Payne, bends back over the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Robbins flew out to center in the first, singled and scored in the third, and then popped out in the fourth. Again from the windup, Payne is ready. The pitch. Tapped foul. Stays near home plate, it's 0-2. Garrett Payne looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Faced the minimum 1-2-3 in the 6th with 1 strikeout. A strike away from striking out the side here in the 7th. 0-2 pitch. High with a fastball, 1-2.
Another email for you, Jack. We've still got a handful to get through over the last course of these 3 innings. Beth and Dennis from Oxford, Mississippi. Enjoyed watching their favorite angler, Campbell Smithwick.
1-2. High again, 2-2. Like Campbell's family's coming out the woodworks today.
They said hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. As Campbell said earlier on the broadcast. 2-2 on Robbins. From the windup. Payne delivers. Grounded towards short. Lodis over to his left, gobbles it up, zips it to first, and he gets him. Another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Payne sends us to the 7th inning stretch. More emails on the rest of the baseball game to follow. 4-4, the tie between Harwich and Chatham as we head to the bottom of the 7th. No runs on no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. And for the 7th inning stretch, we stay here at Veterans Field and we hand things over to the PA announcer, Peter Burns.
All right, are you ready? On 3. All right, here we go. Right over here. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're in. All right. Are we ready? Thomas. Okay. Are we going to go on 3? All right. On 3. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get that first rib. Rib for the England. It's a shame. First 1, 2, Christmas, you're out of the old ball game.
All right, way to go.
An enthusiastic 7th inning stretch here at Veterans Field. A's and the Harwich Mariners tied at 4, game 39 of the 40-game regular season, and we're back for the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Larson, Villeneuve, and Daniel Jackson, a lefty, and then 2 righties against Macchiarola. Get through a couple more emails before Macchiarola starts the inning. Cooper Andrews' dad, John, one of our beat writers, writes, and he says, great job to everyone on the media team. And he's got a question, Andrew, that applies to you and not myself.
Yeah.
What is the best chowder on the Cape?
Oh, tough question. Jack doesn't eat seafood. I'll take this one on the back. Couple options, depends on the town. Go-to in Chatham is gotta be Chatham Fish Pier Market. Shout out, best place for lunch in town. And in Dennis, you gotta try out Skipper's Chowder House.
Skipper's is Cooper's favorite. Here's Larson, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big breaking ball gets a hack from Larson, 0-1.
You know, good seafood minds think alike.
Earlier in the summer, Cooper floated an idea for reviewing chowder around the Cape. 0-1 to Larson. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. I said he should name it Cooper's Cape Cod Clam Chowder Critique.
Yeah, you know, ideas don't always come to fruition, Jack.
No. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again, 1-2. A lot of articles out of Cooper, but no Cape Cod Clam Chowder critiques.
That would have gotten the fans invested,
yeah.
But swing and a miss.
1-2 to Larson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Larson strikes out for the first time tonight. He's down for the first out of the 7th. Now the righty Robin Villeneuve with Daniel Jackson on deck. 1 out, the base is empty, and we're tied at 4 here at Veterans Field between Harwich and Chatham. Cooper and Zach, we've gotten through emails from both of their parents. Excellent, excellent job as the writers for Chatham this year. Pitch to Villeneuve. On the outside corner with a fastball, 0-1.
Some more family emails coming in. The Coladas have emailed.
Pitch on the outside corner to Villeneuve. It's 0-2.
Family of Giovanni Colada, our great producer. They're listening from Bethany Beach, Delaware.
0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts in the bottom of the 7th for Danny Macchiarola. He makes quick work of Robin Villeneuve, who homered in his last at-bat.
Coladas have added that Boston College is greater than Boston University.
Okay.
In favor of Giovanni's school.
I don't think we have anyone from BU that would be offended by that.
Not that I can think of.
First pitch to Jackson. Hits the outside corner. Breaking ball, it's 0-1.
The Heath family has emailed in. Jacob Heath's parents.
0-1. Miss is low, 1-1.
Say they enjoy watching. Entertained from afar. Greetings from Sefner, Florida.
Line towards first. It hops into the glove of Scannell. He takes it to the bag, and he retires Daniel Jackson. Real quick inning in the bottom of the 7th for Danny Macchiarola. He goes 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts, and he gets a ground out to first. Matching Garrett Payne the whole way, and we finish up the 7th inning still tied at 4. Chatham got a run in the 4th and a run in the 5th, bouncing back after Harwich took the lead by 2 in the top of the 4th inning. Garrett Payne is done with 2 innings. A new pitcher comes in from the pen for Chatham. We're tied at 4 as the A's look to win their final home game of the regular season, and the Mariners search for a win or an Orleans loss to clinch a playoff spot. 3 more innings at max coming to you live here from Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Came in thinking top dollar to that old cotton crop farmer. They knocked on his screen door and he said, Lord, what you need, boys? And they said, you know, all the others went and cashed out. We got the subdivision all mapped out. It'll sit right here on this land. You could leave town a rich man. And he said, boys, whatever you're offering, it won't be enough. 'Cause I got a little girl that used to swing right there. I still see her pink bow in her brown hair. She's in the big city, but she still calls home. What's she gonna do if she comes back and we're gone? And over there under that white oak tree, beneath the cross is where my best buddy's buried. Lasted 13 hunting seasons running strong. Keep your money 'cause a man can't leave his dog. And over there's where I got down on one knee. You can't buy that kind of dirt cheap. One man smiled and he kind of looked away.
The center fielder, number 10, Aiden Hill.
Back for the top of the 8th inning on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich and Chatham tied at 4. And for the final play-by-play here at Veterans Field this season in the regular season, here's Andrew Selover.
All right, Jack. 3-4-5 for Harwich. Tanner Franklin into the game for Chatham. First pitch to Aiden Hill is high for ball 1. Chatham Barzine called to the bullpen. Ends the outing for Garrett Payne. 2 perfect innings. 3 strikeouts for Payne. 1-0 from Franklin. Fastball inside. Ball 2. Franklin comes into a 4-4 tie. Chatham out hitting Harwich 11-6 tonight. Top of the 8th. 2-0 to Hill. Fastball, wave, and a miss. Up in the zone at 92. Last outing for Franklin started off hot, and then he lost the command. Ended up walking 4 in 1 1/3. Gave up 1 run. He pitches. Swing and a miss. Off speed at 85 for strike 2. Last 2 innings to get an email in. Coming down to the wire if you haven't chimed in tonight. Feel free to email us, chathambroadcast@gmail.com. 2-2. Lifted foul and out of play. Hill just skied it over the third base dugout the other way. He stays alive. Again, email frenzy night coming to a close. Make sure to get your emails in. chathambroadcast@gmail.com.
Have one from Chris Covington.
First, the 2-2 from Franklin. Up and away, ball 3.
Listening from Washington, he says he loves the iconic sounds of the summer. Nothing like watching future stars play on the Cape. Thank you, Chris, for the email.
Full count for Franklin. He winds. He fires. Popped up. Drifts over the netting. Hill stays alive.
First other Cape League intern has chimed in. Ben Strober, who broadcasts games for YD, is in the inbox.
Franklin ready. Another full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Franklin wins the duel. He sets down Hill. 1 out in the 8th on a first strikeout for the transfer headed to Tennessee.
Ben, who we saw yesterday at Red Wilson Field, says tonight he's listening from the comfort of his home in Sandwich, Massachusetts. He says hopefully YD and Chatham get a chance to face off again in the playoffs. That would take a YD win in the wild card and a Chatham win in the wild card. And it would be for the Eastern Division Championship.
Kate Curlin to the plate, and Franklin deals. Fastball at the knees, strike 1. It's looking good coming down to the wire here tonight for Harwich to clinch a playoff spot tonight as well. Need a win or an Orleans loss. The 0-1. Foul back to the backstop. It's 0-2. Right now it's tied with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Nobody on. 4-4 Chatham and Harwich. Last we checked, Orleans was losing by 4 to Bourne. And that result would send the Mariners to the postseason. Franklin up in the count. He kicks. He offers. And he sails it all the way to the screen. Maybe caught a piece of the top of the glove of Smithwick. 1-2. Curland is 0 for 3 today. Couple of ground outs to Chayton Krause at third and a pop-up to Lodis at short. 1-2. Sit out. Strike 3 swinging. Back-to-back Ks as Franklin is firing the gas tonight. 95 from the righty.
A couple more broadcast alums getting in on the action here on Email Frenzy Night. Guy Benson, one of the OGs with Dan Duva. He says, bravo, gents. Enjoy calling the playoffs.
Matt Scannell up with nobody on and 2 outs in the 8th. Franklin winds, he deals. He hits the outside corner, 0-1, and Franklin seems to be grooving it in there now.
A good sign after he struggled to find the zone a bit throughout his last out.
Righty set with the 0-1. Skipped it in there.
Absolutely a guy that the A's need to have firing right come postseason play. He's been one of the more reliable relievers all year, and if you need a guy to come in and pick up a strikeout, your guy is Tanner Franklin.
One. Fastball up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Franklin struck out Hill and then Curlin, both swinging to start the 8th. Sky completely dark. Lights on, just over 2 hours in at Veterans Field. 2-1. Just missed the top of the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Franklin licks the fingers. He comes set at the mouth. He pitches. Catches a piece, outer black, 3-2. Brian Clark has chimed in, broadcaster back in 08 and 09. Said he's loved tuning in, and best of luck in the school year. Thank you, Brian. 3-2. Slashed foul. Cool part of our job up here is we get to meet so many of the broadcasting alums that have come through. Had a number of them come up and visit this summer too. Another 3-2 from Franklin. Flicked back to the screen. Long battle from Scannell. 0 for 2 day for the first baseman, headed to Wake Forest next season. He does have a walk. Next pitch is number 8 in the at-bat. Franklin set. Trying for a 3rd strikeout in the inning. Here it is. Spoiled back to the backstop. Again, just a flick from Scannell on an outside breaking ball. Franklin wipes his face on a hot and humid night, just below 80 degrees at Veterans Field. Ready for pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Franklin deals. Swing and a miss. Strike out the side, Tanner Franklin. All of them swinging, and Scannell the latest victim. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on in the top of 8. We head to the bottom half. Chatham trying to break the tie. Deadlocked at 4 here at Veterans Field. Stay with us for the bottom of the 8th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod. Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy. Its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl, but I don't need no cure. I just stay a victim if I can for sure. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I said I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Headed to the bottom of the 8th here at Veterans Field. A Chatham Barzin called to the bullpen for the Harwich Mariners as the A's send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. Tied at 4 here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Day is done for Danny Macchiarola. Final line after the first pitch into Jaden Davis. Here it comes. Outside, ball 1. So Macchiarola today for Harwich goes 3 innings pitched. He gives up just 2 hits. 1-0. Taken at the knees, strike 1. The new pitcher is Joseph Hauser, righty out of Northeastern. Wearing the wrong number today, but it is Hauser, pitching in his first game of the summer with Harwich. Winds and deals. Flicked back to the screen, 1-2. Macchiarola gives up 1 run. It was earned on the solo homer in the 5th from Robin Villeneuve. He walked 1, he struck out 3. Hauser, the junior out of Northeastern, comes set, he deals. Laced down the right field line, tailing a fair ball into the corner. Davis thinking to all the way. He sprints in standing. A leadoff double for Chatham. And Jaden Davis in the bottom of the 8th. Go-ahead run in scoring position, and nobody out.
Now batting for Chatham, the center fielder from Baylor, number 65, Ty Johnson.
Brings up Ty Johnson in the 7 hole. Infield comes in at the corners, possibly expecting a bunt from Johnson to try and get the go-ahead run over to third base. Hauser from the stretch. He deals. Johnson squares. He pops up the bunt to third base. In the air, it's caught by Ogden for the first down. Johnson sent it straight up into the night sky. An easy first out for Ogden, who barely had to come in.
We've got 2 emails that work hand in hand.
All right, give them to me.
Sandra Heath, who we've heard from earlier.
Sure.
Added another question: what is the largest recorded number of attendees at Veterans Field? Our very own Dan Duva supplies the answer.
First pitch to Jordan Williams. Tipped into the mid. 0-1.
Dan, who was a original broadcaster as the A's got the Cape Cod Baseball Network started a while ago. Still works as a volunteer with the A's. He helps us out from day to day, makes the hires of the broadcasters.
Long pause, the 0-1. Outside, 1-1.
Not many people with more knowledge of Chatham than Dan Duva, and he sends an email, says, greetings from the press box. The Team USA versus Cape Cod All-Star game in 2000, July 29th, had the biggest recorded crowd here.
Spin around and a pump-faked pickoff back to second. No actual throw from Hauser.
When Paul Gallup reflected on the event, he said that the record crowd was in excess of 10,000 fans here at Veterans Field.
1-1. Hit on the ground, back up the middle, base hit. Wave around third from Davis. Hill has no throw to the plate from center field. The lead belongs to the A's in the bottom of the 8th. RBI base knock, Jordan Williams. Chatham 5, Harwich 4.
That's a big pickup for Jordan Williams after Johnson was unable to get the bunt down. A guy that at the bottom of the order could be very valuable here late into the playoffs for the A's, as he has shown an ability to hit with runners in scoring position.
9-hole hitter Kyle Lodis to the plate. A's in the lead. First pitch. Inside, nearly hit him. Lodis 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, and he's tried to steal second twice. He's 1 for 2 in doing so. Big lead at first for Williams. He's held on there. Infield shaded to pull. Big hole right side. Pick off back to first, not in time. Chatham 5, Harwich 4 with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. A's have gotten the lead back for the first time since the 3rd inning. 1-0. Taken at the top of the zone, right across the numbers. 1-1. Hauser from the stretch. He picks off again to first, and it's not in time.
The 10,000 fans that were supposed to be at Veterans Field that day is reported to be the largest crowd to ever see a sporting event on Cape Cod.
Another check on first. No tag applied. First run since the bottom of the 5th tonight at Veterans Field, and Chatham has cracked open the lead 5-4 in the 8th. Williams responsible for it. The throw home is inside. 2-1. Williams leading off of first base, drawing plenty of attention from Hauser, and rightfully so. Stolen base machine at Florida State this season. Hauser comes home. Williams is off. It's taken outside for a ball. Throw down to second. They got him. Williams gunned out by Wilson Weber. Caught stealing for the second out of the 8th. Three and 1 to Lodice. Back to the windup for Hauser. He pitches. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Runs the count to full with nobody on and 2 outs. Hauser a deep breath on the mound. He winds, he fires. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout ends the bottom of the 8th. A's go for 1 run on 2 hits. No errors in the field and nobody left on base. So we head to the top of the 9th. Chatham trying to protect a 1-run lead. And we'll keep it here to finish up with the emails here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham's going to go to the pen, so we'll tell you who that is in just a brief moment, but we'll keep going with the emails. Jack, what do you have?
Ann Jackson reaches out. She says her grandson, Daniel Jackson, who joined the A's a couple of days ago, is from Georgia. She said they enjoyed an Anglers game yesterday. They appreciate the shows. Steve and Ann listening from Tiverton, I hope I said that right, Rhode Island.
I thought it was going to be a city in Georgia, so I could have corrected you, but...
Yeah, you ever been to Rhode Island?
Yes, I've been to Providence.
Tiverton?
No, Providence.
We also have an email from Evan Stockton, another Chatham A's broadcast alum, getting in before the buzzer. He also says, on behalf of all of us washed-up former Chatham A's broadcasters, and I don't really like them talking down about themselves. I think we have to stand up for them here on the air. Evan reaches out from Huntington Park in Columbus, Ohio. He is one of the broadcasters for the Syracuse Mets, AAA in Syracuse.
We've got some emails from our family. So my mom has emailed in. She said, great job to the entire media team. A shout out to Dan Duva for making this all possible. And she's asked for a favorite memory from your time in Chatham. Jack?
That's a really good question. It's going to be hard. I think if I can make a list of 3, I would say Titan Hayes throwing up and coming up with the save at Brewster. I would say the 7-run comeback walk-off win against Harwich here at home. And I would add the Luke Cantwell home run on the 3rd of July at Orly.
All good answers.
Yeah, those are the baseball answers.
Yeah. It's just been an incredible summer.
Absolutely.
I'll have to keep thinking. J.D. McReynolds is on to try and save this game for Chatham. 6, 7, and 8 to up in the top of the 9th for Harwich. A's up 5-4. McReynolds replaces Tanner Franklin. His first pitch to Wilson Weber is upstairs, ball 1. Chatham bars in, called to the bullpen to start the 9th inning. One perfect inning for Tanner Franklin. In relief, he struck out the side. McReynolds exclusively from the stretch. He deals. Low, ball 2. McReynolds, the righty, at 6'4", 215. Junior out of Central Missouri in his 3rd game. Trying to think, Jack, my favorite memory of the summer. Lots of good ones. 2-0. Catches a piece at the knees, strike one.
I'll add a fourth while you think of your first.
Geez.
The Luke Uhas walk-off home run in the 7th inning to clinch a playoff spot a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, the 7-run comeback against Harwich. Players came into the stands high-fiving. Probably one of my baseball memories. 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. I just think, you know, being around this team, seeing the energy revived into this Angler squad this summer, and talking to all the players, the coaches, it's all been a blast.
I think the Luke Cantwell home run sums that one up pretty well. That's the most energetic moment of the year.
2-2. Low and away. 3-2.
My mom asks a far easier question.
Yeah.
Says, what's the best brand of sunflower seeds? Now, I did a junior year of high school article on this.
Yeah,
I believe
I'll
it was
let
an
you
essay.
answer it.
I'll say Spitz.
Okay.
I did rank 3.
Payoff pitch. Bounced on the ground, foul up the third base side. My dad chimed in with an email from Atlanta. Said, love the broadcast. He asked if we could get a pregame interview with Peter Burns.
Good
He must
news.
have missed the pregame show today, and so he'll have to dig it out of the archives on YouTube, Twitter, all the social medias. It exists from earlier today. 11 minutes. 3-2. Swing and a miss. McReynolds strikes out Weber, and there's one out in the ninth.
Natalie Selover, tuning in from Washington, D.C., says, do we have a prediction for who to watch in college baseball next spring? Austin P.
Yeah. We've had plenty of guys come through that should be awesome to watch next season. Wherever Ivar Arquette ends up, he'll be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Ike Irish. Jake Ogden to the plate. First pitch. On the outer black. Strike one from McReynolds. Nobody on, one away. Top of the ninth here at Veterans Field, and Chatham up 5-4 on Harwich. McReynolds from the stretch. The 0-1. Popped up on the infield. Foul ground, third base side. Krause is camped. He comes back to fair ground. He lunges, and he caught it. Sigh of relief as Chayton Krause was running circles with the wind. And he made a lunging grab down to a knee for the second out.
More emails before the buzzer. Cooper Boardman, former Chatham broadcaster, checks in from Massachusetts. He says he's listening from Boston tonight.
And again, you can get those in up till the final pitch. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. We'll finish them off on the postgame show. Danny Dickinson to the plate. Final out for Chatham to get tonight. First pitch. Outside, ball one.
Bourne and Orleans are still in the 7th, so Harwich will have to wait on that result if they can't win here in the ninth.
Orleans threatening has cut it to a 3-run lead there for Bourne. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Get me over for strike one. Again tonight, Harwich with a win or an Orleans loss would clinch a playoff spot. Mariners trail it 5-4 to Chatham. Nobody on, 2 outs in the ninth. McReynolds, the 1-1. Taken just below the knees, ball 2. And any Brewster fans that might be watching, with one more Chatham out, can breathe a sigh of relief because the Whitecaps would have hopes into tomorrow. 2-1. Half-hearted swing, he went around. Dickinson all sorts of tied up on an 87-mile-per-hour slider. Chatham's 1 strike away from finishing its home stretch here at Veterans Field in the regular season with the win. Fans with the clap, the 2-2, just outside. A's fans thinking with their heart, maybe not their eyes. 3-2 the count to Dickinson. McReynolds comes home. Ball 4. Up and in with the breaking ball. And the tying run is on in the ninth for Harwich. Dickinson aboard, McNulty to the plate. Righty swinger against the righty pitcher, and McNulty 0 for 3 today with a trio of strikeouts. Dickinson this summer, 9 for 9 in stolen bags. He's got a good lead held on by Villeneuve at first. The pitch, he's off. It's high, throw down to second base. Tag applied, see ya! Ball game over. A's dugout explodes. Campbell Smithwick sets down the Mariners. He catches Dickinson stealing for the first time all summer. And the A's beat the Mariners 5-4. Momentum win toward the playoffs for the Anglers. A's take the regular season series over the M's 3-2, and they take this one 5-4. For Harwich, hopes of clinching a postseason berth now lie on the shoulders of the Bourne Braves for tonight, or the Mariners will have to play for it tomorrow.
And how do you listen to this crowd and not think of how electric it is going to be on Tuesday when the playoffs start, and potentially further into the postseason if the A's can advance? Maybe the best home field advantage in the Cape League. Over 3,000 people here tonight, and they stayed all the way through the ninth. A's made them happy this year here at home. A 13-7 regular season record here at Veterans Field. And this place is going to be buzzing on Tuesday.
A's faced the minimum over the course of the last 5 innings out of the bullpen. That's Williams, Payne, Franklin, and McReynolds. 3 faced in each of the last 5 frames tonight, and Harwich never got the tying run over into scoring position in the 9th as Danny Dickinson was gunned out trying to steal second with 2 away. Well, get your final emails in on Email Frenzy Night. We'll get to them on the postgame show. ChathamBroadcast@gmail.com. It's been a fun night here at Veterans Field. It ends in victory for the A's, 5-4 over the Mariners. Chatham with the win goes to 20-19. Harwich 15-24, and still not clinched for a postseason berth. The postgame show is next to break down a 5-4 Chatham win when we return.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines
Welcome back here on the Anglers Extra Post Game Show. I'm Andrew Selover. Chatham wins it 5-4. And if you're watching online with the video, you just saw Robbie Grenier, the groundskeeper, get doused with the water bath from the Gatorade cooler. A's players jumping around with Robbie. Post game as Chatham takes it over Harwich here at Veterans Field. Robbie threw out the first pitch tonight at Veterans Field, and he's being honored later in the fall at the Hall of Fame induction for the league with the Lifetime Achievement Award. So the A's players soak him after the game with the water bath. He's having a good time, as are the Chatham players, who finished their home regular season record at 13-7 and win it over Harwich to win the regular season series against the Mariners here tonight by a final score of 5-4. Let's get it down here on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show to Jack Smith. He's standing by with your postgame interview.
Andrew, I'm joined by Jaden Davis and Tanner Franklin on the field after Chatham wins 5-4 over Harwich here tonight. These are two of the 5 guys that were here on the original 30 that are still here for the A's. And Jaden, I'm going to start with you. You score the winning run. Tanner over here has the bubble machine to celebrate. What does it mean? What does it mean for you guys to win the final home game here of the regular season?
It means a lot, mainly just for the people, you know. I mean, we've clinched the playoffs and the home playoffs, but there was a lot of people here today, so kind of just go out with a bang. It's kind of how it felt good, you know. So
20 games here during the regular season. You get one more on Tuesday at least for the postseason. What do you expect it to look like here for playoffs?
I'd imagine most people ever that we've seen so far. I mean, July 4th was a lot, but I'd imagine it's going to be more than that. So I'm expecting it to be filled, you know.
Tanner, you've been one of the biggest pieces to the energy this year. You lead the roll call now. What has gone into the energy that this team has supplied this year?
It's really just been the new guys accepting it and just going with it. Because we started it this year, and, you know, all the guys that came in, we kind of told them their standards to everything, just how we go about every game, and they accepted it really well, and everyone's just getting along and going along with it, and it's really fun.
What kind of difference do you think the energy can make come playoffs?
I mean, I think we're the team that shows the most energy, and as you saw tonight, energy wins ball games, and the more energy you got, just the better everyone's they're gonna be in a better mood and they're gonna play better. So,
where'd the bubble machine come from?
I don't know. I found it on top of the dugout, and I might take it home. I don't know.
Jane, you've been swinging a hot stick lately. Another couple hits today. What's gone into your offensive adjustment at the plate?
Just trusting the process mainly, and just sticking to what I do. Not trying to be someone I'm not trying to pull balls over the fence, just kind of staying middle to backside and doing what I usually do.
What does the offense need to do down the home stretch? One more game and then the playoffs.
I mean, just keep doing what we're doing, just scrapping across runs, no one's like not being the hero, just doing what you got to do to get that run across the plate.
Tanner, you shook off your last appearance. You struck out all 3 batters you faced in your lone inning tonight. What went into your appearance?
Just flushing the last one, sticking with the positive stuff, and just rolling with it. That's something I've been trying to do all summer. If I have a bad outing, just totally forget it, and tomorrow's a new day. So,
you guys faced the minimum over the last 5 innings. What stands out to you about this bullpen group?
Just everybody knows their job, and they're going out and doing it. They aren't trying to do anything extra. That's really it.
What's your message to fans who are thinking about coming out for the playoff game here on Tuesday?
It's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of fun, and a lot of angler runs. So I think everybody needs to be there. I think the whole town needs to be there.
Jaden, how would you pitch to people about why they should be here on Tuesday?
I mean, it's the first time we've done it in a while, you know. It's that been a playoffs in, how many years? Three, 4 years. So just to be there and experience the energy of the team is something to definitely not take out, you know. So I think you should definitely come.
Being 2 of just 5 players that have been here the whole summer, from game 1 to tomorrow being game 40, what does it mean to you to be able to say that?
I mean, I think it means a lot just you know, for everything, just to be here the whole time and to, you know, keep passing it down to the people that are coming. It just, you know, it means a lot just to stick it out the whole time, you know.
How many players from the past will you have in your mind as you guys finish the season tomorrow and then go into the playoffs starting on Tuesday?
I mean, every single one of the day one guys. I mean, they meant so much to our team, and just I think we're all doing it for them because they can't be here because they're either playing pro ball or they're just sitting at home. Like, it just doesn't matter. We're going to do it for them and just go out and have as much fun as we can.
All right, Chatham wins 5-4 tonight over Harwich. In between all the bubbles, Jaden Davis and Tanner Franklin here postgame. We'll send it back up to Andrew Selover for the rest of the Anglers Extra postgame show.
All right, Jack. Lots of bubbles down on the field as Tanner Franklin is celebrating with the Bubbles Machine postgame. Chatham wins it tonight 5-4 on Email Frenzy Night and the regular season home finale, with one more on tap at Orleans tomorrow for the Anglers. Again, as we finish up Email Frenzy Night tonight, you can email us at chathambroadcast@gmail.com. You can get us those emails at some point in the next few minutes, because Jack will join me back in the booth, and we'll finish it out here on Email Frenzy Night with the A's victorious. But first, we're going to get to the postgame highlights on the Anglers Extra postgame show. Postgame show brought to you, as always, by the Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. And your postgame highlights come courtesy of Touchstone Closing. The two starting pitchers tonight, Augie Mojica against Andrew Evans, and Mojica shined in the top of the first. Couple of strikeouts, he set down the side in order, 1, 2, 3, so we jump to the bottom of the first. Campbell Smithwick due up, he flied out to left field, and then Chayton Krause was the second man to face off against the starter for Harwich, Andrew Evans. 2-0 pitch. Hit high in the air, right center field. That sends Maldonado back. He's at the track. He looks up. Chayton Krause, you've done it again. A's strike first. Opposite field blast from Krause to give the Anglers a 1-0 lead. So that's how the scoring started in the first inning for the Anglers. And Krause's long ball was followed up by an Ashton Larson opposite field double. Robin Villeneuve singled right after that, so there were runners at the corners for Daniel Jackson. A's trying to tack on to a 1-0 lead in the first. 0-1. Jackson bounces it up the middle. Will it squeak through? Yes, it does. Off the edge of the glove of the second baseman, Kurland. Villeneuve chugs for third. He slides in safe. Jackson tries for second. He is thrown out. Second out comes at second base, but not before Daniel Jackson drives home Ashton Larson. A's double the lead, 2-0. So Chatham did strand Robin Villeneuve over at third base, and we got through one inning with Chatham in front of Harwich, 2-0. We head to the top of the second. Augie Mojica found himself in a little more of a jam. After he got Kurland for the first out of the inning, he walked Matt Scannell, and then back-to-back singles from Wilson Weber and Jake Ogden loaded the bases for Harwich with just one out. Danny Dickinson popped out to first base on an infield fly rule, and so Sam McNulty was to the plate in the 9-hole with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Mojica trying to protect a 2-run lead. Pitch clock under the scoreboard counting down. Mojica with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Take a seat. Mojica leaves him loaded in the top of the second inning, and the Mariners exit empty-handed. Third strikeout in 2 innings for Augie Mojica, and it finishes the top of the second inning and preserves Chatham's 2-0 lead. So Mojica threw 2 scoreless at Veterans Field for Chatham. A's went scoreless in the bottom of the second as well on 2 strikeouts from Andrew Evans. So to the top of the third we go, and back to the top of the lineup. Second time through for Mojica. Got one of the first 2, ground out from Maldonado, followed by a single from Aiden Robbins. Brought up Aiden Hill in the 3-hole. 1 on and 1 away. 2-0 Chatham lead in the top of the third. 1-1. Hit high and hard into right field. Larson looks back. He's at the fence. He is out of room, and this game is tied. Aiden Hill continues his hot start to the summer with Harwich. A late addition, and he launches it over the right center field fence. 2 apiece in the third. Harwich ties it up in the third inning, courtesy of Aiden Hill, and it was a 2-2 game. We'll jump ahead to the top of the fourth inning. Mojica was done after 3. Andrew Williams was the new man out of the pen for the Anglers, and Williams got into some trouble immediately out of the gates. He walked 2 and gave up a single to Jake Ogden, And so for the second time in 4 innings, Harwich had the bases loaded, this time with nobody out. Williams struck out Sam McNulty, but he had to face the top of the order with 1 out and the bases still full. Cam Maldonado ready to make him pay.
Here is Cam Maldonado. First pitch. He hits it high in the air down the right field line. Hooking away from Larson, down a base hit. Karams off the wall. Weber comes around to score. Ogden turns third, he comes to the plate. Stop signs at third for Dickinson as Maldonado chugs into second with a 2 RBI double. He smacked that off the wall in right field and gives Harwich a 4-2 lead in the top of the 4th.
That was all for the Mariners in the 4th inning. Harwich left 2 on in the frame. And then we headed to the bottom of the 4th. It would be the final inning of work for Andrew Evans, the starter for Harwich. And the 4th inning started with a single from Jaden Davis and a throwing error from the third baseman Jake Ogden, who sailed his throw all the way into the first base dugout. So Davis was in scoring position already to start the inning. A Ty Johnson ground out moved him over to third. Jordan Williams would walk. And then Kyle Lodi struck out. So they were still at the corners with 2 away for Campbell Smithwick, trying to get the A's back in it down by 2.
Davis legs out a lead at third. Williams dangles into one off of first. The 0-1 pitch. Williams is chugging along, and Smithwick hammers it into the gap left center field. Davis comes in to score. Williams races around third. He gets the stop sign. He holds up, and Smithwick slides into second with an RBI double. A run on the board for Owen, and Chatham's now down by just 1, 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th.
A's cut that lead for Harwich in half in the 4th inning. Scoreless top of the 5th for Andrew Williams, and headed to the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. Robin Villeneuve came to the plate. Nobody on, but he had the power to tie the game with 1 swing.
0-1. Villeneuve hits it high in the air. Deep right field. Maldonado knows it. Gone! 3/4 of the way up the berm. Robin Villeneuve homers again, and he ties it at 4 here in the 5th.
Second home run for the A's on the ball game. Chayton Krause and Robin Villeneuve both go yard for the Anglers, all tied at 4 at the end of 5 at Veterans Field. Top of the 6th meant another Chatham Barzing call to the bullpen. Garrett Payne was the new man in relief of Andrew Williams, pitching in a tied game. First 2 went down easy, ground out from Wilson Weber, and a strikeout for Jake Ogden. But Danny Dickinson was ready to match what Robin Villeneuve did in the last half inning.
2-0. Dickinson hits a high fly ball. Deep center field. Johnson's at the track. He leaps and he caught it. Flying in center, Ty Johnson pulls down the final out of the inning. That had home run written all over it, but Johnson never gave up, and he secures the final out of the inning. Garrett Payne hasn't walked.
So Garrett Payne gets through the 6th scoreless on a ball that pretty much everybody, I think, in the ballpark tonight thought was gone. Ty Johnson said no, 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 and he kept the ball game tied here at Veterans Field. Bullpen's on lockdown the next 2 innings. 7th inning scoreless for Garrett Payne. 6th and 7th inning scoreless for Danny Macchiarola on the other side for Harwich. Top of the 8th brought Tanner Franklin into the game. He struck out the side for Chatham and sent it tied at 4 to the bottom of the 8th. And again, Jaden Davis led the inning off with another base knock, this time a double to right field. So the go-ahead run in scoring position for the A's, but Ty Johnson failed with the bunt. He popped it up to third, and so Davis was still standing at second base with 1 out for Jordan Williams. 1-1. Hit on the ground, back up the middle, base hit. Wave around third from Davis. Hill has no throw to the plate from center field. The lead belongs to the A's in the bottom of the 8th. RBI base knock, Jordan Williams. Chatham 5, Harwich 4. A's headed to the 9th inning with a 1-run advantage, courtesy of Jordan Williams, an RBI base hit to give Chatham a 5-4 lead. J.D. McReynolds was the last man called out of the bullpen for Chatham, the 4th reliever of the day for the A's. And the first 2 went down quietly in the 9th for Harwich. Wilson Weber struck out swinging. Jake Ogden popped up. but then a long battle from Danny Dickinson garnered a walk. So the the tying run, I should say, was on base. Go-ahead run at the plate was Sam McNulty. Danny Dickinson, a perfect 9 for 9 in stolen bags on the summer. And first pitch to McNulty, he was ready to get into scoring position. The pitch, he's off. It's high, throw down to second base. Tag applied, see ya! Ball game over. A's dugout explodes. Campbell Smithwick sets down the Mariners. He catches Dickinson stealing for the first time all summer. And the A's beat the Mariners 5-4. That's how it finishes up here at Veterans Field. Your post-game highlights come to you courtesy of Touchstone Closing. I'm Andrew Selover, back up in the broadcast booth. Jack Smith has joined me once again. And Jack, let's finish up Email Frenzy Night here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We've got a few more questions and emails to get to.
Yeah, I got to shout out my dad. He sent an early email. We left him waiting, didn't get him in during regulation, so overtime here on the postgame show. He provides 2 questions for the Frenzy. He says first, if your broadcast partner was unavailable to do color for a game, which 2024 angler, current or former, would you want to fill in as a color commentator for a full game? And I'll send that one to you first.
Okay, I'm going to go with I'll have 2 answers for you if that's okay. One's going to be a player, one is not.
Okay.
The player that I'm going to pick is Bryce Roddy.
Okay. Good choice.
Think he views the game in a unique way, coming from the D2 level. He's brought a different energy here to Chatham, and he's been an A's fan for the last 6 years, and so it would be fun to have him in the booth. I also think that, it'd be interesting to get one of the coaches up here. We've been talking to a couple coaches that both say that they might be interested in broadcasting or in a different life, Jack would be.
Or have already done it.
Yeah.
Jay Vincent and Drew Guffey are those 2 names. Drew Guffey says that if he wasn't a coach, he would think about being a broadcaster. And Jay Vincent has done some color before. So those 2 could easily do it.
Yeah.
How about you can have one of them, I'll take the other. And my player, I think I'll take Ashton Larson. If you listened to the manager show earlier today, Eric Beatty made it pretty clear, and I've noticed from talking with Ashton throughout the year, that he looks at baseball in a very unique way. Every time he comes back to the dugout, if he got out, he wants to know why. He has almost a photographic memory. He can remember every pitch from every at-bat the day before, and I think he'd be able to provide some pretty good analysis watching the games and giving perspective that would probably blow my mind on things I've never thought of.
Yeah, second question from your dad. Who is the best athlete at any level, any sport you've ever called a game for? For me, I think I called games of Kyle Hamilton in high school football. Yep. Safety now for the Ravens, played at Notre Dame. He was a freakish athlete. In terms of baseball, last summer here on Cape Cod, really fun to watch J.J. Weatherholt play here at Veterans Field.
Yeah, my baseball answer is Travis Bazzana.
Yeah.
Got to call him at Oregon State this year for a couple of games, but I'm going outside of baseball, and you should be able to guess who my answer is here.
Basketball?
No.
Oh.
Football.
Oh, Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams, yeah. Both number 1 overall picks, one in the NFL draft this year, one in the Major League Baseball draft this year. But Caleb Williams is the answer now. That answer might never change. If it goes the way Cooper Andrews, our beat writer and Chicago Bears fan, wants it to, that answer might never change.
Fair. And Jackson has followed up. Tiverton, 25 minutes out of Newport, Rhode Island. Home of the Newport Gulls, shout out. But great to hear from Ann tonight on the broadcast. Who else do we have, Jack?
Gina reaches out again. Gene Smith and Gina, I'm going to say Gardner. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. They say, for a second time, they're both huge Anglers fans. They say, shout out to the host family, Stan and Laura Caskey, players Jacob Heath, Gabe Van Emmen, and Jordan Williams. They listen to games regularly. They have a lot of players and people to shout out, and we agree. We second.
Yeah, and again, a shout out to the Caskeys who have a post-game meal waiting for us in the next few minutes once we're off the air.
Scott Braun reaches out. He says, Andrew and Jack, great work this season. A proud A's media team alum. He said, good luck and go A's in the playoffs. I think we've gotten through all of them.
I think we have.
One more scan just to make sure that we haven't missed any. You go from the bottom up, I'll go from the top
Yeah,
down.
I gotcha.
Scott did send us a replay of the out at first base, Scott Kellett.
Yeah.
Very important replay. We thank you for that. After we mentioned that we wanted to see that play again, the collision at first that I still am not sure why Jordan Williams was called out, but it didn't mess with the A's all that much. I am pretty sure that we have gotten through every
I think we are good
email.
tonight.
Thank you guys all for sending in the emails. What a night here where the A's win by 1, home regular season finale, email frenzy, had just about everything that you would want.
It is. It was a great night. We appreciate everybody for chiming in. Great to hear from so many different people connected in so many different ways across the Cape League, chiming in left and right. Great to hear your shout-outs, your questions. We had a lot of fun with it. We hope you did as well. And we're going to finish out the night with two things. We'll get you the final lines, but first we're going to get you one more check of the Cape League scoreboard because a couple of important games have gone final. We'll start in the West. Hyannis has finished up an 11-4 win over Wareham. So the West Division 1 seed belongs to the Harbor Hawks entering the final game of the regular season tomorrow. Also of note in the West, Falmouth has fallen to Cotuit. So the Kettleers get 2 more points, and Cotuit will end the night 2 points clear of both Bourne and Wareham as Bourne wins again against Orleans. The final score at Doran Park, Bourne 7, Orleans 4. So a couple things that means for you. First, Cotuit clinches the 2 seed in the West. So Hyannis the 1 seed, Cotuit the 2 seed, Wareham and Bourne still battling it out 3 versus 4 in the West. Also of note, with Orleans falling to Bourne tonight for a second time, there is a playoff berth headed the Harwich Mariners' way.
Although Harwich does not believe they have clinched a playoff spot. Talking with people down on the field and the Harwich broadcasters as I came up from the postgame interview, I said, congratulations, you've clinched a playoff spot. They are not sure, and they, as of right now, are not operating as if they've clinched a playoff spot. I sent them the rules for potential tiebreakers. They should be in a playoff spot, but I just want to put it out there that right now Harwich is not celebrating as if it has clinched a playoff spot.
Mariners didn't quite do their part, could have clinched with a win tonight, but Orleans falls twice today in a doubleheader to Bourne. So headed into the final day on the east side, Harwich has a 2-point lead on both Orleans and Brewster. And Brewster would need a win and an Orleans loss to get in tomorrow. And Orleans should just need 1 win or a Brewster loss. And the Firebirds with the tiebreaker over the Whitecaps should be in tomorrow. So still going down to game 40, plenty to play for tomorrow. Again, your final lines tonight here at Veterans Field. Chatham goes for 5 runs in the win on 13 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base for the A's. 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on base for the Mariners. The winning pitcher tonight, Tanner Franklin, tossed a scoreless 1-2-3 8th inning with 3 strikeouts. Joseph Hauser gave up the winning run in the 8th. He picks up the loss. And J.D. McReynolds the save with a scoreless 9th inning. First pitch tonight, 7:04, and the final pitch at 9:34, 2 hours and 30 minutes here at Veterans Field with the A's victorious in front of 3,275. It's the final regular season game at home, but it's not the final game at Veterans Field. Chatham expects to be back in front of even more than 3,000 fans when the A's host the 2-3 matchup on Tuesday at 7 o'clock here in the first round, a single-game first round. A's will host on Tuesday at Veterans Field. We hope that plenty of you will come out and come say hi at Veterans Field on Tuesday night. Should be a lot of fun, but we've got one more to close out the regular season tomorrow on the road at Orleans. First pitch, A's and Firebirds, with the Firebirds' postseason hopes hanging in the balance. 6:30 tomorrow at Eldridge Park, and a 6:10 Anglers Extra pregame show. With Jack Smith, our producer Giovanni Collada, the rest of our fantastic A's media team, I'm Andrew Selover saying good night. Thanks for a fantastic email frenzy night. It was a blast from start to finish, and the A's cap it off with a W. 20-19, Chatham heads into the final day after a 5-4 home win over Harwich. We'll talk to you from Eldridge Park tomorrow. Good night, everybody, and talk to you at 6:10 tomorrow night.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2024 has been brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, Sports Radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.